And now on Who's Views, it's time to join JT, Paul, and Third Doctor Ian for the latest headlines.
Here we go then, everybody. Nice to see you. It's your big show this Sunday, the 22nd of March, 2026. It's headlines. How are you all? Hope you're having a cracking weekend, or had a cracking weekend, rather. Yeah, lots to talk about again in your big show tonight. So it's great to see you all because have you heard? Well, as usual, things don't look good for the BBC. RTD's fans have turned ugly. Not that I'm convinced they were all pretty anyway. Ncuti Gatwa, well, he doesn't seem very happy even now he's left Doctor Who. We're going to be looking at all that. And yes, we are going to be looking at the fact that 2026 could be the best year for Doctor Who fans, and I'm talking proper Doctor Who fans, 1963 to 1989, for years. It could be the best year ever, which is always going to be good news. We're going to be looking at that in this show. Let's bring them on to kick off the show then, everybody. I've got Third Doctor Ian and I've got Paul here. Hello to you two.
Hello there. Hello.
Good evening to you, gentlemen. How are you doing?
I'm not bad. How are you doing?
I'm still excited, gentlemen, because guess what? It's 13 sleeps to go, everybody. 13 sleeps to go. Oh, yes, it is.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Not long. Yeah.
It's not long. Considering that we've waited for years. This is nothing now, this bit, is it? This is
it's been 13 years now. It's 13 sleeps. That's incredible.
It's been a long time. But yeah, it's 13 sleeps to go until the BBC, of course, drops the 2 missing episodes we've had of the Daleks Master Plan back onto iPlayer. We are going to be looking at that story in the show again, because we are going to continue to talk about this fantastic news. Ready for our review shows in April, where we are, of course, going to be looking at the Daleks Master Plan, as well as Mission to the Unknown. They're up on the channel for you now, so make sure that you've got all that ready, and you've subscribed, and you've got set your reminders and all that sort of stuff as well. You know what you're doing, probably more than I do.
Can I say a nice big thank you again to Film Was Fabulous for those teaser clips of those wonderful restorations. They were amazing. Thank you so much.
They are brilliant. I think I was saying to you yesterday, wasn't it? They're really annoying as well, because I just get into it and it goes off.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to watch it again now. Got to watch it again. And every time I think, oh, will they show a little bit more? But no, it's not happening. And it's been watched hundreds, thousands of times now, and that's just me.
Yeah, just me as well. Yeah.
Listen, Who Viewers, it's good to see you all. I'd like to say a huge thank you to everybody that's been getting in touch with us again this week. As you know, you can get in touch with me anytime you like. You can get in touch via Instagram, our Facebook page. Thank you if you've just joined either of those. But you can also get in touch with us at whosviews1@gmail.com. Now, that is the best place for you to get in touch with us, whosviews1@gmail.com. That's the best place for you to get in touch with us. I've had some messages, guys, that I have to be honest, I don't look at anything that comes through the Facebook messaging system. I don't look at any of that at all. So use the email address, because I've just found some from last year. So I'm sorry about that. I'm really sorry. Get in touch via the email address, everybody, as well. But I do want to say thank you to Jay Blanchester, to Brian Anderlion, 1701, familiar number there. To the Bees, to Paul Clark, to Christopher Hayden, to Brian M.J. Bowes Kavanagh, thank you very much, to Dan Reed, to Andrew Fenwick Green, to Mark Milford, to Steve Henley, to Derek Hart, Andrew Dunn, Rodney Strickler, to Rory Stanage, to Claudius, nice to hear from you, Reese Woolridge, to Andrew Shutt, to Chuck Bennett, to Simon Hodson, Marlon Aranzi Bia, and... yes, that's it. So thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for getting in touch this week.
Busy.
It's always busy. It's always busy.
I think you should just forget emails and Facebook. Just go back to postcards, I think. Or envelopes. Back of envelopes.
Yeah. Sealed down envelope.
Yeah. Don't think my postman would be very happy because with all the emails I get, honestly, it'd be a sat load of postcards and stuff. Good to see you all. Count 1977, the evening, the three amigos and the cackling queen. What does he mean, me? No, I think he means Kirsty the Witch, who's joining us, of course, in the chat. Good to see you, Kirst. And hello,
I'm saying nothing. Yeah,
hello also to Barbara Being is in there, and I think Legion of James is joining us as well. So thank you very much, guys, for being in the chat, looking after everybody.
Yeah.
It's great to see you all. By doing nothing, we do everything, says William Orlock.
Yeah.
Indeed.
The Daleks will stop at nothing to prevent us. Yeah, exactly.
These are little quotes we're going to have to get used to, aren't we? 'Cause we're going to have to add them to the data banks.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to take a while, to be honest now, especially at my age, and getting on the road. Harnell's Ghost is with us also. Evening all. I'm looking forward to seeing the Feast of Stephen again, as all Doctor Who Emmy bets are back on.
They certainly are, yeah.
Digby Strobridge, good to see you. Digital Pollution, hello. Margie75 is there as well. And Timescales is saying to me, I just found some messages to me on Facebook from 2022. Johnny the Cabbage is saying, Madge from Neighbours. Talking about you, Paul.
All right.
But Johnny the Cabbage is saying, lovely chit-chats. Yeah, well, yeah. Everyone's doing well. We've got more to come up in this series of chit chats. So stay with us, everybody. And,
can I thank people for coming back to see me for a second time? Thank you so much.
We've got some great revisits coming up, actually. Yeah, so it's all good. So if you've taken part in chit chat before, or if you want to take part in chit chat, please do. whosviewsone@gmail.com. All about you, those shows. I love them. John Mason saying, all this fuss over some black and white show from the 60s. What nerds. Ooh, you cheeky monkey. I'm telling you. And Funky is saying, it's amazing how good it looks without the restoration.
I know. Yeah.
Considering it's been in a box
for 50
with
years.
With loads of other stuff, going through all weathers and all temperatures and everything. To come out like that without catching fire or anything is pretty damned impressive.
It really is, isn't it?
Did they tell us if it was found in his collection, in his shed, or somewhere where it wasn't a great place to keep them? Did they or not? No?
It did mention something. I think it was in his house.
Right, okay.
I think it was in his house. I can't remember. I think it was on the press release about where he kept it.
So, I can't remember. Yeah.
I'll have to go back and have a look. We've got this from Stephen Braddock saying, hi, JT and the Tangent Brothers. And also, Just Jordan's with us. Hello, Jordan. I have a Bailey's and some mini eggs ready to watch the show. Yay.
Oh,
that's
you can't beat a mini egg. Nice.
You can with a great big rolling pin.
You can, yeah. Yes. But they taste lovely.
Hello to Jack Dexter, who's joining us, and Hayden's with us as well, the Three Musketeers, and here's Legion of James as well. 13 Sleeps. Now, I just want to say thank you to Legion of James, because if you go and see our Facebook page, Whose Views, Legion of James has designed us. We mentioned this in one of our shows over the last week. How funny would it be to get an advent calendar type thing? Legion of James did one for us. So every day there's a countdown. The Dalek Master Plan countdown, and it's fabulous. So thanks for that, mate. I really appreciate it. It's really
Can I add an extra thing to that? Could you put maybe a delegate in each window? Every time you open the window, it's a different delegate. That'd be quite nice.
Oh, bless. Siegel's in the chat with us as well. So nice to see you, Siegel. Thank you very, very much. And MTB, nice to see you. The new Twin Dilemma documentary on the new box set was great with the interview with the twins.
I agree. Superb.
Well, yeah. I'll wait till it comes out in standard in the next decade. Thank you. And Digby, thank you so much for your super chat. I've just watched an animated version of Mission to the Unknown. Brilliant, dark, and menacing. Oh, was that on the tube with who?
Yes, it is. It's very good. Yes.
Is it? Yeah. Well, you'll have to send me the link. Because when we come to look at the Mission to the Unknown, everybody, you can use whatever resource you've got. You can use the audios. You can use that thing that University did a couple of years back. You can use that if you like. Or you can use this animated version that Digby's found and Paul knows about as well. Okay. Siegel's with us saying, in other news, I love saying that on this show. In other news, Blake 7 Series 3 Blu-ray is now available for pre-order on Amazon and HMV. Personally, I can't wait for Series 4 with Sulin in HD, you perv. Yeah. And they're saying he's going there off for a cold shower now, might be gone for a while. We don't really need to know about that, do we? Now?
Too much information, I think, yes. Yeah.
But yeah, we did put that onto our community tab, or wherever it's called now, post tab. because that was funny. Blake 7, Series 3 on Blu-ray. The collection did appear on Amazon and HMV only at the beginning of the week. Or in the middle of the week, rather. So it's very, very strange. Stay with us here on the channel if you're a Blake 7 fan, because, of course, we will be looking at that fully when the BBC announced it properly with the trailer and with all the details on the cover. Okay, so that's all coming up for you on the channel as well. Oh, my goodness. Now, listen, everybody, I want to start actually with, of course, some sad news, because at the beginning of the week, we did hear that, sadly, we have now lost another Doctor Who actor. This is Tom Georgeson, everybody. Now, you will recognize his face, of course, because he was in Doctor Who twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you, at our ages as well, guys, this gentleman, Mr. Georgeson, was everywhere because he was a fantastic actor. Well, he has sadly passed away in the last week. You will know him, though, for his roles in Genesis of the Daleks and Logopolis. He had 2 stints in Doctor Who over that time.
Yeah.
Other television work included roles in police and hospital dramas such as Holby City, Juliet Bravo, The Manageress, Peak Practice, Agatha Christie's Poirot, A Touch of Frost, Cadfael, The Bill, what is it, Dazile and Pascoe, something that's called?
Dazile and Pascoe, yeah.
Professionals, Z-Cars, Ashes to Ashes, Foyle's War, Brookie, The Crimson Petal, The White, Fish Called Wanda, and of course he did a hell of a lot of theatre as well. He was a Liverpool lad, so he was a good lad. No bias there from me at all.
Was he in Boys from the Black Stuff as well?
He was. He was in the Boys from the Black Stuff in 1982, Scully in 1984, and GBH in 1991. He was also in the BBC One serial Bleak House in 2005. He did a lot of work. He was everywhere through his career.
He's great in Fish Called Wanda, plays the main villain in it.
That's right, he does, yeah.
He's wonderfully comic psychotic. It's brilliant, very funny, yeah.
Yeah, he is, he's brilliant. JT says, Funky, it's probably quicker to say what he wasn't in.
yeah.
You're right, Funky, but, you know, it's another one, you know, for our generation, because he was absolutely around in everything. You know,
he's only got little cameos in Doctor Who, hasn't he? Really, but he's I love him in both parts, but particularly like he was the police inspector in Logopolis. You know, is this your sports car, sir? Is
this your vehicle?
Yeah. Which vehicle? yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
It's a nice little bookend of Tom's career, isn't it? He was in one of the stories right at the start, and then the very last one at the end. So it's quite bittersweet, but a great actor. Shame he's gone. Good innings.
It is, and he did, yeah. So, what's this from John Keeley? Good evening, gentlemen. Hope all are well. Looking forward to you guys missing episodes reviews, as I can't see them on the BBC iPlayer, as I burnt my TV license away back after The Timeless Children. That's the problem, isn't it? Yeah. I was just saying to people today from outside the UK. If you don't have your TV license, you can't watch on the iPlayer. You're going to have to watch for the commercial releases. But we'll come to that in a minute, because we're going to be talking about the BBC in a minute, John Keeley. But thank you so much. Nice to see you. But so let's just. Can
I make a suggestion? A friend of mine, I don't want to. He's going to be doing, no names mentioned, a Zoom call, which will show the episode on Zoom. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, all right. But to Tom Georgeson's family, to his friends. He will never be forgotten in Doctor Who. He had 2 lovely little cameos there, and he made the most of them. He made a real impression. So love and hugs, and all the best to you all. And Tom Georgeson, everybody, 1937 to 2026. R.I.P.
God bless you, sir.
Indeed.
Right then, everyone, let's move on, because we are now going to be talking about the BBC. You'll know, if you're a long-term viewer here on Headlines at Who's Views, that the BBC is in trouble, and we are absolutely delighted to report on it. Every week there seems to be another drama unfolding. They do seem to come across as being in desperate tacks, and there's a couple of things we want to look at with you here at the top of the show today. Now, actually, Paul, something you said on our season 21 review this week actually made me start thinking, and it was only, after the show typically, that I thought, oh, hang on a minute, because we mentioned as part of our season 21 review, or you mentioned, that currently available now on the Tube of Who's Doctor Who official page, their channel, is the making of the season 21 Blu-ray box set mini adventure with Peter and Janice and Mark.
Destination Daleks, yes.
Yes. So there's a making of that. Now, Paul said in our season 21 review, it's not on the season 21 box set, to which we all went, oh, that's really weird. And then, of course, we went off and thought about it. And it's not, because that content is an example of the content, I now realize, that was made specifically for YouTube under the new BBC and YouTube deal. Now, a few weeks ago, we spoke about this, that how the BBC was going to produce specific and exclusive content only for YouTube. Remember this? So that making of that is an example of what they've done.
It's really infuriating as a completist. I want it on season 21. That's so annoying.
Yeah.
But they'll do this, won't they? They'll do this. It's a standard tactic, really. Sky TV did it when they got sport years ago. They had the channel for showing Premier League football matches, and that was great. That was fantastic. Yeah, and then they did Sky box office. So there were certain matches that they flagged as being particularly exciting. You know, Man United and Arsenal. I can't think why they would be exciting at all, apart from, you know, you want to kill yourself. But anyhow, and they would say those are available if you pay an extra 5 or 10 quid to see that match. So you could pay for the full Sky Sports package, but you couldn't see that match. You had to pay for box office, and then they just expanded that out so you could have it, but then you have to pay for something else. And the BBC are just following that tack, really.
Yeah. Well, I looked at this thing yesterday or the day before when it was this making of thing, and it came up as live.
Ah, right.
So therefore I didn't watch it. You know, because just in case, because they still, who viewers, as you'll be aware here in the UK, they still have not told us whether or not you need a television license in order to watch their YouTube content. Isn't that weird? You know, we're still waiting. We're still waiting for it. It's not happened yet. So, you know, it's a case of like, when are they going to tell us if you need a television license to watch them on YouTube?
They're just trying to catch out so they can fine you. What's going on there? I have no idea.
Well, I think it's going to come to that point. And the fact that they haven't told us, and we had this with, you know, somebody asking RTD when he said, oh, the Daleks master plan would be made available free on iPlayer. It's not free. You have to pay for the iPlayer. And of course, he was blocking people left, right, and center, as his way, as we all know. When they got back to him saying, it's not free, Russell, you have to pay for it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. You know, a lot of you in the chat know what we're talking about now. And I personally think that's part of the thing. Because when it came up live, Paul, I thought, oh, you see.
Yeah.
There it is.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Anyway, so we've got all that there. We have got this, though, this news confirming all this and talking about this, because this is from the Radio Times. The BBC's landmark YouTube deal means output could be very different in the future, argues viral content producer. The Radio Times spoke with Molly MacDonald, executive producer and founder of Blue Door Productions, about what the deal means for future programming. Earlier this year, the BBC announced a landmark strategic partnership with YouTube focused on investments in new programming for the platform, showcasing more BBC moments on YouTube and upskilling the next generation of future creators and producers from across the UK. Now, at this point, I do want to come in on this, because that's what we were talking about last time. And again, Who viewers, I've been thinking about this. This is what the BBC is going on and on about their YouTube platforms will help new content producers. Not one of us has needed the BBC to start up new content channels. No. Not one of us. And these kids know more about, the young ones know more about what they're doing on YouTube than the people in the BBC. So that now seems to me very shallow, because I just thought, no, hang on a minute. No, that's nothing to do with you lot going onto YouTube. You're going onto YouTube really to get money from foreign advertising. Yeah? So it's nothing to do with that. And the more they keep pushing this thing about, the young people, the more I'm starting to see through them. They don't need you. I didn't go to the BBC and say, I need you to help set up Who's Views. I just bloody did it, as does everybody else. We don't need you. Anyway, let's get back to the article. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I think part of the BBC's approach as well is to subvert and control. I think it wants to get in there. It wants to saturate the market with its own channels, which is why it's going in with 50. And it'll just try and suck all the oxygen out of the room and drag everybody there. But it always does that. BBC tries to spread itself way too thinly. It should refocus on just doing a few things and trying at least to have a half-assed attempt at doing something good, as opposed to at the moment where it's doing absolutely everything catastrophically crappily.
That's why they're doing 50, so they throw everything at it, and then maybe one thing will be quite good, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like throwing some of it'll stick.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
YouTube has been going for 20 odd years and creators haven't needed help from the BBC before. Exactly, Funky, exactly. And Magic Stew is with us. Hello, Magic Stew. The real reason I believe the BBC is going onto YouTube is to do with the license fee loophole. It will say you'll now need the license to watch YouTube and many other streaming platforms. That's what I'm worried about, Magic Stew. Because I argue the case. It's nothing to do with you. Mind your business, get on and do a subscription service for yourself. But I'm really worried, Magic Stew, that this is what's going to come in.
If that's the case, surely whatever license fee they get from us, and they should be paying Netflix or Amazon, whatever, a cut of the license. Surely, if that how it works, surely if everyone's getting a share,
Well, obviously we can't get details of what the deal with YouTube is, but YouTube, of course, as I call it, you have to pay your rent on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so the BBC surely would as well. So that's going to be part of the deal they've had, isn't it? To talk about how much they give back to the BBC. PB is saying to us, it will end YouTube in this country if they pull that. That's my other fear. But I think it would also cause PB an awful lot of people like myself turning around saying, on your bike.
But it wouldn't surprise me if they did try to stop it, because it's more competition, isn't it? That's the problem. And they don't like it.
But if they were good, they wouldn't mind about competition, would they? Because they, like in the 1970s, they had competition from ITV and everything else. Not many others, but they had competition from ITV. But they dominated because what they produced was really, really good, as we knew from our favourite programme. But not now. I mean, it's...
I actually love the clangers, I must admit. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Yes. So anyway, this is where it's going. Jason G saying to us, Friday's turgid comic relief was apparently on BBC One, BBC iPlayer, BBC YouTube channel, was it? And nobody watched it. And it didn't make as much money as it did in 1999. Lenny Henry is spitting blood, apparently. Who cares? I mean, when you look at what they're funding as well, there's no way I'm going to give to comic relief either. You can call me what you like, lefties. You can call me what you like. I don't care. I am not going to support charities that support illegal, and the word there is illegal, people into my country. Not a chance. They are illegal. Send them away immediately. Don't even let them set foot on the land. Send them back immediately. Or do something about not crossing the channel. I'm getting really political there. But there you go. You set me off on that one. Let's get back into that story. What's this from Mark A. Rice? Hello, Mark. People go to YouTube for unfettered and unfiltered opinion. The BBC will not be welcome. Critical drinker and Adrotic will still wipe the floor with them. Oh, easily.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely easily. Even though I noticed there was a certain YouTuber, one of these people that are up RTD's backside, who's put out a video out recently, either today or over the last couple of days, guys, that says that their days are over. And he's going on about algorithms are poor for these people's shows. And he's mentioning the Adrotic and Drinker and, all the big ones, Geeks and Gamers and all that. He's made, what an idiot. Not an idiot, But let's get back to the story and then we'll come back to you in the chat, everybody, because it does go on with this. At the time, the BBC said it would be looking to build targeted communities for UK children and young adults on the platform, promote key BBC programme brands, that'll be Doctor Who, deliver trusted high-quality news and drive commercial growth through global fandoms. High-quality news is very doubtful as well in my eyes. As part of this, the corporation would be looking to upskill and partner with creators, as well as established TV producers who want to create and commission digital-first content. While this news may not have been surprising, in January, data from the independent ratings body, as we mentioned here on Headlines, showed that YouTube reached more people than the BBC for the first time ever. It still remains somewhat unclear what the deal would mean in practice and what it would do to BBC content going forward. Considering this, the Radio Times spoke exclusively with Molly McDonald, the exec producer and founder of social first production company Blue Door Productions, to find out what she's expecting. McDonald, a viral content producer and director who has worked in digital content for the last 6 years, said she personally was not surprised by the announcement, adding that the move makes sense now because for an entire generation, YouTube isn't an alternative, it's the main screen. I think the under-25s already treat it as default television, and for the BBC, it's probably about time that they embraced it, she said. And I'm sure a lot of people have been saying 2025 is the year that television died in viewership, in funding, in downsizing teams, and the infrastructure of what these distribution channels are working with. To me, it feels appropriate to be jumping on now. McDonald said that the BBC looking to partner with creators is a huge step, adding the fact that they're looking for external production companies who specialize in social first content means they recognize that it's not TV repurposed, it's very different. I think they have to make the distinction very clear from the start what the differences are between a YouTube piece or a traditional TV episodic. YouTube is fast-paced. It's often conceived, not just cut down around the story. It fits to be quite an intimate relationship with the audience. McDonald said that when looking to create this very different content for YouTube, the approach should include keeping retention in mind, keeping stakes throughout a story, and very strong hook at the very beginning, while also adding that your packaging is massive, thank you, your title and your thumbnail, what people immediately see. However, she also acknowledged it will be important for the BBC to remain true to itself and not lose the elements of its brand, which have been successful to date. Well, in my eyes, guys, that is well gone. It's long gone now. I think if we break down what the BBC means, and it's very important for BBC to bring this onto this new format, it's the trust of fact-checking and tone in the stories they're telling, McDonald said. It's access journalism and its cultural memory having an impact that when people know the BBC logo is attached to it, there is just an automatic trust and a validity to the information you're receiving. And then when we talk about fiction, when we talk about comedy, it's an editorial standard. It's a stylistic choice of the comedy being inherently British, part of the zeitgeist, and knowing that if you're clicking a BBC piece, there won't be a compromise on the quality of what you're viewing. It's not just clickbait, viral-worthy, churning out content because the algorithm demands it. McDonald said she expects the sort of move the BBC is making to be common amongst all broadcasters in the future, noting that she worked with Channel 4 before and that they have been looking at it internally, but that there is a push between the higher-ups who come from decades of television projects and then the new up-and-coming creatives that are really pushing for it. There's still a bit of a divide there, she added. But I guess in the next 2 years, we're going to see massive shifts, and that's really exciting to me as a YouTube producer. Any content the BBC commissions specifically for YouTube may be very different, but what success in this arena look like for the corporation? McDonald says it will be about reaching an audience that doesn't use iPlayer, so obviously that younger, under 35s, and thinking about engagement quality, not just virility. I think that they could possibly fall into a bit of a metrics hole, which we've all done before, where you're just trying to see the numbers tick up, when in reality, what you need is a response from your audience that builds a core that then becomes loyal to you and your brand and whatever story you veer to tell, she added. And then trusting retention, it's the key to success on that platform, is making sure that at the end of every video, your retention rates are high. Whether this new YouTube first content will sit alongside the corporation's current output on the platform, clips, trailers, and archival content, McDonald says will depend upon a period of experimenting to find out. She said that unless the clips being shared are archival, great BBC moments that are already living in the zeitgeist and already recognizable, the BBC should predominantly focus on original formats, original concepts, and collaborating with creators who are already established, as well as hopefully championing new talent that don't necessarily have the following that they're so reliant on at the minute. YouTube isn't the only platform currently looking to work with the BBC. Earlier this month, Netflix chief co-executive Greg Peters revealed that the streaming service is eager to host BBC programmes in a closer relationship, which would, according to The Telegraph, see it effectively replacing the iPlayer. Well, one thing you're dealing with straight away, guys, is that the people working in the BBC hate Britain straight away, and they don't know what Britain is. You know, that's one thing. But you can see how this would affect Doctor Who.
Is she it says she's a viral content creator. Does that mean she's a YouTuber herself?
Yeah, she produces content for YouTube.
Right. So she's got her own channel, has she? Perhaps no.
I would imagine it's the company channel. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
She
I
might have
just
her
wondered.
own, but
She
you know,
might
it's just
have. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, she might have. But I'm aware of the company one. But yeah, interesting. I thought. No.
I'm not convinced. I'm not there's more to this. I think the BBC's obviously got a plan. It's going to be all based around money. It always is. Money and control, like I said before. And the saying about the YouTube will catch was it below 35s that iPlayer doesn't? Well, earlier in the year, certainly with Gatwa's Doctor Who, for example, because that's the thing we know best, weren't they saying that was the very audience that YouTube was capturing, that iPlayer was capturing anyway? So then it was, now it isn't, and they're going after YouTube, and it just doesn't stack up. But then I don't believe a word they say anyway, from bitter experience. So that's me.
So do you think, JT, this could be where Doctor Who's Home now is on YouTube instead, because a cheaper option? Do you think maybe?
Well, it just tied in that when I was looking at this and getting it ready to put into tonight's show, we'd done the season 21 show as well. And I remember you saying about this making of. So when I looked at it and it had that live thing, I remembered what we talked about a few weeks ago to say they were going to do more content specifically and exclusively for the YouTube channel. And again, she's illustrating what we've said before. She's illustrating it in that article there, in that interview. It's all about the young ones. They know the young ones are on YouTube because they go to YouTube first. So she's illustrated quite rightly. The young ones get all their information, all their news, right or wrong, from YouTube. They hardly go to the BBC. And what is the BBC's priority? The license fee. This is my theory, everybody. The BBC are so besotted and obsessed with young people and making sure they've captured them so that they get them to retain, so that they will pay the license fee when they leave home. That's what it's about. And because the BBC don't want to lose the license fee. It's very obvious. They're not going to look at any other model. Nothing will suit them due to their snobbishness. And I think that's what it is, Paul. Get themselves onto the YouTube and you've got them.
So they're going to try different formats in order to engage the youth effectively. So we get like little short bursts of Doctor Who in like 2-minute segments. A friend of mine did a commercial like that. They did it for an online thing, and that was what was like a little 5-minute videos. So you might get five 5-minute episodes of Doctor Who over, I don't know, over a day, and do it differently. Just do it in a different format in order to engage the lack of thinking people, So
yeah. And because they haven't told us whether or not you need the license yet to watch the YouTube content, you've got to be careful right now, because how many times have I now contacted them? 3 times. 3 times and 1 phone call. And I'm never doing that again because I can't get past that woman on the reception. But, it's a real case of no, they haven't told us, so we don't know. So if you see a live there, is that classed as live television?
They have done that a lot. Remember these clip shows they keep showing on the channel? They have like the history of the Daleks or the Cybermen or women in Doctor Who, whatever kind of thing. And they have all these long videos and they get shown on Saturday night. So maybe 3 hours long.
That's right,
and they claim to be live. And then they show them one night as live, effectively broadcast live. And then like you're saying with this clip from the Destination Daleks behind the scenes thing, they show it again and still claim it's live, even though it was broadcast live like the week before.
It's been paid for several times over.
Yeah,
not
it doesn't make
like
sense.
The original people that were paying TV licenses.
Yeah.
But how many times have we paid for it? We always joke about how many copies of Spearhead from Space have we all invested in? How many copies of the TV movie have we all invested in?
But the definition of live seems a real cheat, doesn't it? If you show it once live, it can only be live once, surely. And then it's certainly it's not like you're doing like a live show like the One Show or a live episode of EastEnders or whatever. It's not. That's a one-off. That's live once. It can't be live more than once. Surely it doesn't make sense.
It can't be. No, it can't. And it's there all the time. It's continuous. I think, Paul. I think they just keep it going. All the time. And that's the other thing I'm worried about. Mark Greaves, thank you for your super chat. Hi, guys. Hope you're all well. Nerdrotic posted a photo today from a convention. Jodie Whittaker's signing line. Only 4 people queuing. There was a longer line for the toilets. All right.
Was that after we spoke to her before? I don't know yet.
We're going to be coming to that convention shortly because we are going to be talking about that because it's the Star Fury convention. But I have to say, That might have been towards the end of the day or something like that, because I have seen another one where there actually was quite a lot of people for her and Mandip Gill.
So maybe 6 or 7, was it?
Yeah.
Probably AI. It's probably AI, wasn't it?
It's
Yeah.
all
I think
lies. It's all lies. Yeah.
just on the BBC thing, though, I think they are, again, I think, typically late to the party, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't think,
Yeah.
for a lot of things, the really young bracket that they're after, which is the kids up to 21, I reckon. I don't think they go to YouTube for their news either. They get most of their stuff from TikTok.
Yeah.
So, you know, what are they going to do then? Because TikTok is a standalone app. You know, YouTube is now part of Google, whereas TikTok is its own thing. It was Chinese. Has it now been bought by America? It's certainly not a UK-based thing in any way, shape, or form. I can't see Trump's America, or any America, to be fair, saying, yes, we will allow Britain to put a tax on one of our products and we won't see any of that money. I can't imagine them tolerating that at all.
No, neither can I. I mean, YouTube, of course, is a business, and a very, 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 very successful one. You know, very successful one. I mean, look at the development it's had over the last God knows how many years. Is it 20 years this thing's been around? You know, and it's gone from just, somebody's putting out videos now, to huge resources. But what they're actually effectively doing is, you know, I think the other thing about this, and Steve Braddock, you're absolutely right. Steve Braddock has said to us, JT, if the BBC knocked on your door for cooperation, you'd tell them to sod off. Yes, I would. I want nothing to do with the BBC. As for, you know, they've had enough from me, and no, I wouldn't want to. Not to want to. But you know, what was I saying? Yeah. I think they're copying what the unapproved media, Talk TV, GB News have done, because they're getting massive, massive figures from being on the television, they're on the internet, and then they're on YouTube, and then they're on the radio, which is the format the BBC had already. It just didn't bring its stuff together because it doesn't talk. It doesn't see what the next thing is going to be. So they are late to the party. And they've seen the huge success of the alternative medias like Talk TV and GB News. And they've gone, oh my God, they're getting more viewers than we do, which is a fact. You know,
Who'd have thought they'd consider filming radio programs? That's just bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, I never ever thought that would ever happen, but there it is. You can watch a radio show, which is handy, you know, because if you can take I mean, one of the taglines for the shows is something along the lines, you can take us wherever you go. And nowadays you can watch it at home, you can watch it on your phone, you can listen to it in the car, whatever you're going to be. You can even take them abroad with you now as well. Goodness me. You know, you can take it abroad with you now. And that's the beauty of all this stuff, isn't it?
You're very popular.
I know.
I wish they'd filmed some of the really early radio shows, like Hancock's Half Hour.
That'd be great. Yeah. I suppose they did with the Goons. Remember that live? I'm on a tangent now. The Goons one they did when they filmed the Goons episode. That was great.
Yes.
That was it? Yeah.
I suppose they started with webcams in radio studios, didn't they? And I think it's just spread from there, really.
Yeah. Well, Chris Evans used to do things years ago, doesn't he? And, you know, and now look where he is now. ITV has been putting some great shows on here themselves, says The Forbidden Man. And Cool and Dry, Mark is saying to us, 52 million people watched YouTube in the UK in December 2025, as we reported in January. And that exceeded the BBC's viewership. 54% of YouTube viewing in the UK happens on a television set, making it a big part of the UK's AV ecosystem. Yeah, the problem with that is they don't like that. And we have these things now, don't we, guys? The smart televisions where YouTube is built into it. Yeah. And I think they're going for that. I think they're going, I mean, like you have to have the license now to watch Sky or any sort of live television, even though it's not, there are actually live shows on YouTube. And I think they're going to go after them to say that's live telly.
But that 52 million across the board is across the board, isn't it? It's not like they're not all watching our channel, which would be wonderful if they did, but it's not that. It's across the board, all the channels. So regardless, I mean, I know Neurotic and people like that and Critical Drinker get good figures, but the BBC are not going to get 52 million from one episode of Doctor Who, are they? Let's be honest. From YouTube or whatever, you know what I mean? So it's not just one program, it's across the whole range, isn't it? So, yeah.
I think it's definitely something to do with trying to get that younger generation and keep that license fee going. Because as we've reported here on YouTube, it's blatantly obvious they don't want the license fee to go. They are stuck in their ways because they know, deep down, they all know that if they went to a subscription service and the British public had the option of saying no, then the British public bloody well would.
Yeah.
I'm going to come to that in a second. Let's come into the chat. They should change the name to EU Broadcasting Corporation or the LGBTQ Corporation, says Marie UK. They'd probably try that all the time. It would be EU LGBTQ plus, wouldn't it, Marie? Because they love that. Johnny the Cabbage is pointing out correctly that there's some great Jerry Anderson stuff on YouTube. Yes, there is. And God love them. Wonderful stuff. The new Captain Scarlet Blu-ray box set is on the way, everybody. Woo! I love that series. That was the new CGI series. I loved it because I loved Captain Scarlet when I was a boy anyway. So it was nice to see him reimagined for the old generation. Never mind the new ones. Cat 1970, apart from Looney Lefties, there's no trust or quality from the BBC anymore. Strange you should say that. We are going to be looking at that in just a second. What else? Darren Reed. The BBC thinks YouTube is like OnlyFans. It'll, yeah. I would say it'll whore itself out anywhere. Yeah. Well, it's the quality as well. You're going to look at the BBC's quality.
Maybe some of us will, but I'm not going to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is as well, I mean, she was talking about certain things there, wasn't she? She's talking very much as a YouTuber there. The BBC would not ever be a YouTuber. It's still supposed to be the British Broadcasting Corporation. So it can't do what other YouTubers do. And I just think you can't look at it, lady, the way that you do. It can't be the same. The BBC is paid for by the British taxpayer. And they all forget that right now, don't they?
Yeah.
They're getting a little bit like either a protection racket. You can't watch this unless you pay us. Or a little bit like China, where, they're not allowed to go on, say, things like Facebook. They have to have that Sino-Weibo equivalent that they're allowed to go on, and it's all strictly monitored. And I think the BBC ultimately would love nothing more than to control access to the internet. Ultimately. Yeah. It sounds bizarre now. It sounds, no, surely not now. But actually, if they got the opportunity to control access to the internet, full stop, they'd take it. I think that would be the
you've got a government in control in the United Kingdom now for the first time in our history. Well, in hundreds of years of history, that is turning into a dictatorial government. We've seen that very clearly this week. Oh, we're going to bring this thing in, but don't worry about it because it doesn't mean we're going to nick you or criticize you or have you cancelled or try and fire you from a job. And what did the Prime Minister do this week? Exactly that. Hypocrite. So we're on the verge of seeing what is left of our democracy, I feel, going down the toilet, because I think the point you've just made about the BBC ties in exactly with what the current government are doing. They would love to have control of us all. Yeah. It's worrying times here in the UK, I think.
That's probably why they're not getting rid of the license fee at the moment. They're trying to hold on to as long as they can so they can manipulate the BBC as well.
Yeah.
Well, they were talking about trying to cancel block X in the UK because X acts as a more adult-based news source for a lot of people, and they can't control it. They can't filter it. You look at places like the BBC. You go back 5 years. You look on YouTube. You look on X or Twitter as it was, and you could see an awful lot of those every week. There were those yellow vests. Do you remember the strikers and protesters in France?
Yeah.
None of that on mainstream media. You got all of that from places like Twitter as it was.
Yeah.
And they would want to cancel that because they can't control it, which is why Starmer hates it, because so much comes out about what he's done or what they're doing or what they're trying to do. Yeah. And they want to keep it secret because they know that they'd be absolutely eviscerated if they came clean about what they're doing.
And similarly, we know that the BBC wanted the alternative channels, and I'm talking at this particular point of GB News, cancelled a year before it went on air. And it was them that started putting the thing, it's far right. This whole far right lunacy came going along, But, they will tell you, them and also to an extent Talk, as the two main rivals now to the mainstream media, will tell you daily how many illegal immigrants are coming into our country. Now, will you see that on the BBC and ITN? No, you bloody won't. There are agendas to these people. And unfortunately, more people, people are still watching the BBC and ITV and believing the propaganda that they're being given from the far left. The virtual Baz is saying to us, I pay for YouTube Premium so the BBC can get stuffed. That's the other thing. How does that work? You know, if
Yeah.
somebody's paying, like Virtual Baz is paying for YouTube Premium, which is his right to do, as millions of other people do in our country, the BBC surely cannot possibly say, you've got to have the license fee. I reckon if they try that, guys, I think there's going to be real trouble for the BBC, more than they're getting now.
Can I ask, what do you get for YouTube Premium? How does that work?
I think you don't get ads when you're watching it. You know, when you're watching the video,
So
it
it's
gets
just get rid of the ads. That's it, is it?
I don't know if you get other benefits as well, but I mean, the ads are bloody irritating, to be honest.
Oh, they are. It's always the same bloody ones as well, isn't it?
Yes.
God, yeah.
It's actually uncanny,
Yeah.
guys, because I was watching one of our shows back, and I got 3 adverts for the BBC shows. Click that off. That's the other thing they've done. They've got BBC show adverts now on YouTube. I didn't notice them before, but I suddenly noticed in the show I was watching of ours, 3 of them, and I thought, where's that come from?
It'd be very funny if it was an episode of Shooty or the fishy thing. That'd be quite funny, wouldn't it?
Yeah. The
Imagine
BBC
the outrage.
I would imagine, yeah.
Woodhouse122 saying to us, those BBC YouTube Doctor Who compilations are awful anyway. I bet they are.
Yeah,
I haven't looked at them because I don't need them. So anyway, we've got another instance of this that you may have seen this as well. Oh, hello, GG Gray's here with us. How are you, mate? Hope you're doing well. I'm sick of seeing Fiona Bruce on the Question Time trailers on YouTube. That's one of the ones I saw, and I can't stand that woman. I can't stand her. So that immediately got clicked. Here's Bill Lowry saying to you, Paul, 2 tiers, $7.99 gets you an ad-free, $12.99 is premium ad-free, and you can download videos and music.
All right, okay.
There you go.
I will sleep tonight. Thank you very much.
How poetic that in Britain today there are 2 tiers. Two tiers of everything, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a society today, isn't it? Marie UK is also saying no adverts, no interruptions. You can continue to watch YouTube on your phone while using another app.
I'm too tight to pay for the adverts to be removed. That's just
so am I. So am I. And John Mason saying the ads that come are ones that seem to be targeted just to pee you off. Well, they did, John, for me with the BBC. 3, please. Wasn't happy with them. Lex is with us. Hello, Lex. There's going to be more and more ads coming on YouTube, so I've heard. Oh, good. That just cheered me up. I'm sorry, everybody. And Mark is saying to us, YouTube Premium is worth every penny. You also get YouTube Music included, but no ads is a game changer. There's loads of classic films now available. So they are actually becoming like a streaming service then, Mark.
Oh.
Interesting, isn't it?
YouTube Premium is basically YouTube 15 years ago.
All right.
No video, you just no adverts. You just watched it.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Thank you for that. Well, listen, we've got another story about the BBC here because it's not a good time for them, as we all know. And a lot of you started to talk about this in the chat because you're right. Who cares about the BBC? And more importantly, who trusts them? From the Daily Mail, trust in BBC plummets more than any other British institution over the last decade, apart from the government, as half of public say they trust the corporation less and less, following a string of scandals and bias accusations. Let's get into this. Trust in the BBC has plummeted more over the last decade than in any other British institution, apart from the government, a major study has found. That's sad, isn't it? A staggering half of the public said that they trust the corporation less than they did 10 years ago after scandals and mounting bias accusations. Just 1 in 10 said they trusted it more, giving it a damning net rating of minus 40 points. Only the government scored worse with minus 50 points in the study of public trust in major national institutions by the Good Growth Foundation think tank. In findings, which will raise yet more questions about how long the license fee can last, 4 in 10 said they use the BBC less amid the surge in popularity of streaming giants such as Netflix. Less than 1 in 5, which is 17%, said they use it more than a decade ago. Out of those tuning out, 4 in 10 said it was because of declining content quality, suggesting growing numbers believe the license fee, which will surge to £180 a year from next month, that's April, is not worth the price. Nearly half, 47% of respondents said that they preferred content on streaming services such as Netflix, while almost a third, 29%, cited too much repetition on the corporation's platforms. Trust in the BBC has plummeted more than over the last decade than any other British institution. Is that the right one? Oh, it's the same one, isn't it? Hang on, let's go into that one there. Yeah, correspondents also said they believed the BBC was becoming less culturally relevant amid accusations it overly represents some communities and minorities. More than a third, 39%, said it had less cultural influence than 10 years ago, with just 20% saying it has more, a net score of 19%. By comparison, Netflix recorded a net plus 26% score. This was the largest positive shift among the institutions tested by researchers. It comes after a string of scandals which have engulfed the BBC in recent years, including criticism over how it dealt with the Hugh Edwards fiasco in relation to the veteran newsreader's conviction for possessing indecent images of children. Respondents to the survey also cited the BBC's breach of editorial guidelines after it emerged it used the 13-year-old son of a Hamas official to narrate a Gaza documentary without initially telling audiences, sparking accusation of anti-Israeli bias. Another debacle cited was the corporation's splicing of speech by US President Donald Trump, which the BBC later admitted gave the mistaken impression he had made a direct call for violent action ahead of Capitol riots on January the 6th, 2021. The BBC was later forced to apologize to Mr. Trump over the 2024 Panorama program, which sparked renewed bias accusations. Now, they've put this little diagram into this as well, everybody, as you can see here. So I'll leave that up for a second here. But the light blue is percent trust less. The medium blue is at the percentage about the same. The orange, percent trust more, and the dark orange is percentage of don't know. And there you can see that. UK government, 61% trust less. The BBC, 50%.
So the government are doing the best because they're the worst.
Yeah. That's
good,
it goes up. I mean, it's great to see that people have still got trust in the British Army. But when you look at other things as well, like the civil service, I would have rated that a lot more because they dictate to the government rather than the other way around now, because they're full of extremely, take it from me, extreme left activists. And so are the trade unions. Some of the trade unions, boys and girls, can't even tell what a woman is and dictates to their membership that they must follow that as well. Shocking behavior, all under the name of inclusion, tolerance, and diversity.
It's interesting that the army is 17% because there's only about 17 people in it. So it's just interesting that number appeared twice. But I mean, Starmer's bound to be happy on that because at least he's leading in one poll.
Yeah, that's a good point. The article does carry on, ladies and gentlemen, with nearly 2/3 said they trust BBC News compared to 29% who distrust it, a net of plus 36%. BBC News was the second most trusted news organisation after ITV, and 2/3, 65%, said it was important that the UK has an independent public service broadcaster. This included a net plus 49% among Reform UK voters, which have to get into everything these days. The journalists can't help themselves. The group most hostile to the BBC on every other measure. At the 2024 general election, Nigel Farage's insurgent party vowed to scrap the licence fee. Director of Strategy for the Good Growth Foundation, Louisa Dollamore, hello to her, said the BBC does have a significant task when it comes to rebuilding trust, but it can get there. However, in order to do so, it needs to look beyond the content it produces. To do this, it needs not to just nurture creative talent and skills across the country and embrace the changing media landscape, but it also needs to ensure communities everywhere, especially in those parts of the country that too often feel neglected, see themselves reflected on screen and on the airwaves. Yawn. A BBC spokesperson said the BBC is used by 94% of UK adults on average per month and is the #1 brand for media in the UK. BBC News is also the most trusted source of news in the UK and internationally.
The thing about this that gets me is the amount of money they pay for the license. If it's 180 quid, it's going to be by April.
From next month,
so that's £15 a month, isn't it? You have to pay to it. Even, I mean, surely you should have to pay for that and pay for Netflix and Amazon Prime and all that, or Disney Plus or whatever. You know, there should be, if you got a license, it should all be part of the whole thing, surely. You know what I mean? Get everything for that kind of money. Because I mean, Disney Plus is what, $7.99 a month or something. So is Netflix for a month. That's half of what the BBC are offering, and at least their program's original. You know what I mean? Not the BBC, I mean the other channels.
But it is like them being a protection racket, isn't it?
Yeah,
You could pay for a full version of Netflix, Amazon Prime, all of them. You could do all of that. Yeah. And yet the BBC would still say, I don't care that you've paid for all of those subscriptions quite legally, that you're a legit subscriber to all of those platforms. Don't care. You can't watch any of them unless you pay us.
We'll send the boys round a kneecap.
Yeah, that is exactly what it is. And anywhere else, the police would be knocking on. Well, not our police, obviously, because upholding the law is not in their remit.
Not part of their remit. Yeah.
Not normally that kind of thing would be seen as illegal activity. But the BBC, it seems to be in their charter. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but again, it's pointing out this whole thing about where the BBC needs to go. So that article, the people there seem to think that the BBC can be trusted again in the United Kingdom. I don't think they can. I think that's gone. More people now do not want to pay a BBC TV license. They want nothing to do with the BBC. Let them get on with what they want to do. I don't want to know anything about them at all. I mean, we are only reporting because they have a link to Doctor Who, but now even that's going to be in question in the future because it looks like Doctor Who isn't going to be around in the next few years.
I saw another article, I can't remember the name of the producer. Another producer was caught with illegal images on his computer. It's like, how many people do you have to employ at the BBC that's had some kind of background like this? The vetting process is horrendous. It really is.
It's like, well, actually, it could be like that with any of the industries now, isn't it? Because again, it's all DEI nonsense. It doesn't matter if you've got references. It doesn't matter about your capability of doing the job. It doesn't necessarily matter about how much experience you have. Oh, you tick boxes. Well, have you? That's how many creeps and cretins are actually in certain positions now. And I know that of course, when dealing with the TQ cult, it's amazing.
Even the police force, you look at that, they don't vet the police force properly either.
No, they
Otherwise,
don't.
all the things that happened the way they did, people have been killed by policemen.
Yeah. Although somebody this week apparently has said they're going to review that situation. I believe it when it actually happens because they've
better late than never,
Yeah, well, they've been for the last 15, 20 years, whatever it is, they've been besotted with this DEI tick boxing quotas as well, isn't it? They haven't been bothered about anything else. It's all about this thing. She mentions representation on there as well. That's what's got us into the mess as it is, because the BBC, as well as all the other organizations, of course, went out of their way several years ago to start doing all this representation nonsense. And that's when the quality dropped because they took their eye off the ball. And as one of our lovely viewers was saying to us the other week, they went to a writer's room, remember, about a workshop, and everybody around him was basically saying, oh, it's about identity, it's about feelings. It was not about the story. And that's what RTD has been doing in Doctor Who. It's about, right, I've got to have this and this. And let me just wrap some sort of loose story around this. That's why it's gone off the boil. And they're not admitting any of that at all. Julianne is saying to us, guys, that the BBC is a sewer full of PDFs, treasonous liars and financial corruption. Richard Brooks, universities are ideology factories. They churn out don't they just? I mean, I've seen, Richard, so many things now here on the platform of the Tube of Who to do with the poison that these alleged activists in education, these teachers, these lecturers, whatever you want to call them, but they are poisonous far left activists, are teaching the kids. And it's just, no wonder they're all thick and wearing tea towels on their heads. It's absolutely ridiculous. Cara is saying to us, it's all crazy. I would not trust this lot to fight their way out of a wet paper bag. Hartnell's Ghost. For you youngsters here, just wait until you have to phone the DWP, re your state pension. Set aside 2 weeks of frustration on permanent hold. I can imagine. Yeah.
I feel the same when I phone Virgin Media. That's allegedly a hard time as well. Yeah.
Oh. I was going to tell you something about them.
To speak to a real person would be lovely. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. But you know what, Paul? I'm going to tell you now. I had an interview years ago with Virgin Media for a manager's position in Manchester. Yeah. And these two kids walked in to interview me. So I'm about 7 years older than them. And they sat down. And of course, I'm prepared. I've done all my research. I'm ready. I had to leave the interview eventually because I said to the fella that was interviewing, because she was very quiet and he wasn't. Yeah. And they were asking questions which are totally irrelevant to the job, totally irrelevant, not really about me. And I said to him, you've been watching too much of The Apprentice. I said, listen, this is not a reality television show, young man. This is a job. This is an actual job with 35 grand a year as a salary. And you're sitting there asking me inane questions, which have nothing to do with my suitability for this role. I said, to tell you what, stick your interview, go and get yourself on training and call me when you're ready. And I walked out because it was absolutely ridiculous. You know,
And they say you're fired before you left.
Oh, honestly, he came across like that. He was even dressed like one of these idiots that go on these shows, you know. And I just thought, oh, no. Anyway, back on form. Darren Reed is saying to us here, reform voters are like a crucifix to the BBC. Yeah, they are. And again, this is the problem where we are. You know, again, freedom of speech, the freedom to vote for whom you want to. You know, you can criticize, but you shouldn't judge. The BBC do. How many times now, Darren, have we heard that if we don't agree with them, we're all far right?
Yeah.
This epidemic, RTD himself, our own Prime Minister, have called everybody that dared to question what they're doing and their dictates and ideologies far right. And I've said it before, if the real far right turned up now, that lot would crap themselves in seconds because they wouldn't have a clue what had hit them.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
That is absolutely true.
Right now, I'm more worried about the far left because they're the ones that are burning books and cancelling people and ruining people's lives and dictating and pushing ideologies onto all of us and name calling and cancelling and all that nonsense. Government-controlled BBC can never be independent, says PB. Does this person not understand what state means? It's a good point, and I don't think they do anymore, PD. I can't even trust the BBC News for obituaries. They completely ignored the passing of Rob Grant, says Funky. I don't think they're going to look at anything like that. No, not at all. And Digby
So I was going to say, they used to do bizarre things. They put a photograph up of somebody who passed away as a photograph of the wrong person. They've done that all the time, you know?
Yeah. Digby is saying to us, ITV is more trust than the BBC. Jeez, they've fallen so very far. I think they're on a par with each other, really. I really do. And I think it's very sad where we are. We have public broadcasters that we don't want to know about. So everybody's gone to look for the alternatives, which are here on the tube of who. And the shows on Netflix, Amazon Prime, other ones are available. And they can't cope with it. And they're getting quite worried about it all. And it's just, it says like we've even got a government we can't trust now.
Well, for the BBC and for the government, if they're worried, there's just one lesson: don't be shit at your job. Yeah. They have literally one job: govern or produce entertainment and news, and they're shit at both of them. So,
well, no, I think the government was more entertaining than the BBC.
Yeah, but they're not meant to be, are they? That's
not meant to be. No.
It's frightening me. Steve Braddock is saying to us, back in the good old days, someone would just come in with a good idea. It would get commissioned, made, and broadcast. Those times are long gone. You're never going to see them. I know those times again. I know for a fact that these days, if you're trying to get something, they'll sit there and say, it's okay, it's all right, but you've got to have this in it, and you've got to have that in it, and you've got to have this in it, and you've got to have that in it. And they go through the entire clipboard exercise of DEI tick boxing. Robert Payne saying to us that the license fee is like a forced subscription for a channel you don't want. Yeah. And Jason,
and you can't cancel. You almost, you know.
Well, you can. You've just got to make sure that you don't watch anything live.
Yeah.
And Jason G saying to us, they need the license fee to pay for Hugh Edwards' home and pension, allegedly.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. You know. Yeah.
I must try and catch that drama with what's his name? Martin Clunes playing the part. It sounds awful. It sounds awful, but good if you know what I mean. Yeah.
This Tuesday, Channel 5.
Similar to that Jimmy Savile one, isn't it? JT, I've had terrible network connectivity, so apologies if I missed this, but I think we've skipped a couple of super chats.
We haven't. I haven't got to them yet. I've got them here. So bear with me while I try and find them. Seagull 6819 is into as activists more often than not is code for an unemployable, bone-idle, troublemaking idiot, allegedly. Yeah. That's what they are. I mean, you can smell them before you see them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're always, you know, out there, aren't they, flying bloody flags and totally, utterly ignorant of what they're actually supporting. Regimes that would hang them immediately. Lots of you in the chat talking about this. So thank you very much. Good luck to the BBC competing with YouTube channels like Trigonometry, who platform all sides in depth and with respect for all, says Mark A. Right? You're right. Absolutely. Quality gentleman over there. And Marie UK for a super chat. Thank you, Marie. University students today are a bunch of 24-carat plonkers like Rodney on Only Fools and Horses with good intentions and no life experience. They don't even have the good intentions, Marie, because you know what? They are rude. They are aggressive as well, and some of them can get very violent. They have no ability to discuss or debate. They go straight for the jugular, and they love the N-word, and they love the ist and the ot and the phobe. And that's it. It's incredibly limited, because when you shoot them down with facts, that's when they get aggressive, because they know they've lost the argument. You know, was there another one for a super chat? Ian,
yeah, there was a previous one from Marie.
Thank you, Marie.
A £2 super chat. So thank you, Marie. And as I will say, you know, if my network had dropped off and you did it, apologies.
Thank you.
She said when we were talking about filming radio shows, Marie gave a super chat and said they tried to film a Just a Minute once, and she wishes that they had done. Just a Minute was really successful, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was
we also had a £2 super chat from Lex, so thank you, Lex. And when you mentioned Captain Scarlet, he posted and said Captain Black's look like the famous football manager. Now, I know you're not interested in football, either of you, but if you look at a photograph of, I think he's referring to Arteta, who is the manager of Arsenal, he does have a passing resemblance to Captain Black.
Does he?
In fairness, he really does. Yeah, and I think those are the only two. Sorry?
How old is he? Is he single? Captain Black, very nice. Thank you both for that. I don't know why they didn't come up. Sometimes it doesn't on the platform we use, but thank you so much. Magic Shoes with us, guys, saying, does anyone not remember when World Trade Center 7 BBC journalists reported the collapse of the World Trade Center almost half an hour before it fell? Never trust the BBC. I don't remember that at all. I just remember when it happened. That's something else in history that seems to have been forgotten. I am shocked and stunned that an entire generation of Americans, as shown on the Tube of Who, don't know about what happened there on 9/11. They're not taught it.
No.
Why aren't they taught it? Probably because it goes against some sort of narrative. Like certain things here are no longer taught.
Yeah.
You know, Anton Brannigan, hello, nice to see you. I see Pete Docter of Pixar wants them to start earning millions for their movies again, rather than spending millions on making films as therapy for people. I have to say, yeah, that made me laugh, that line, because of course he has decided that there will be no more TQ cult agenda enforced into the films for children. And good for him. He's absolutely right. Absolutely right, because that is poisonous. And I love that line when he said, yeah, these films are supposed to entertain, they're not for therapy. Wonderful. I might be using that myself on certain things, you never know. But there you go. Yeah, Steve Braddock, this doesn't surprise me. I was shouted at by a Green Party canvasser as an ist because I didn't agree with their policies. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all, because they are all absolute lunatics. Lunatics. There's a reason we used to have mental asylums, and it's about time we brought them back, quite frankly. You know, honestly.
We have
there
one
would be
big
enough
one
of them, to be fair. Yeah.
There's one big one in Westminster, isn't there, really? But they keep coming out.
Yeah, somebody keeps opening the padded doors for them. Honestly, it's ridiculous. Yes, so thank you for that, everybody. But that's the BBC in trouble again. And basically really, really, really trying to find its way in this modern world that they're in, which they didn't see coming. I mean, to an extent, a lot of us wouldn't have done here in the UK, because it really, really has taken off in the last 10, 15 years. But YouTube was around for a lot longer. You would think that they would have seen, guys, oh, there's potential there.
But the BBC have never seen potential in anything. I mean, just go back to the junkings of Doctor Who episodes, all the telly they junked. They didn't foresee any possibility of future release, DVD, video, whatever, domestic home movie type stuff. Didn't see any of that. You know, it's madness, you know.
To say
no foresight at all.
Well, to say for decades they had a very, very large research and development department. They didn't see some new technology coming. It is bizarre. They don't have to see DVD or anything like that. They just have to see home recording, which is mid-70s really, but took off in the 80s. But they only had to foresee that, and then everything else was a progression of that technology, and they didn't see it. They didn't see marketing. We're talking about Doctor Who. They didn't see the original marketing of Doctor Who with the Daleks and everything else. Everybody else was going bonkers about them, and they were late to the party, and it was their IP.
Yeah. Exactly. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again, they haven't seen the potential of the iPlayer as a subscription service out of the UK.
Yeah.
Because we have had people getting in touch, and Canuck Chuck, who I know is watching as well, has been in touch several times. So hello to you. Friends of ours that, of course, are outside the UK, guys, asking about this, because we are going on all the time, of course, about the Daleks Master Plan episodes appearing on the iPlayer. But also, we do forget that unless they can access that outside the UK, it means that our friends abroad are not going to see these episodes. We're going to talk more about this later. But if the iPlayer was set up as a subscription service, how many people would have just signed up to it out of the UK right now, just for these 2 episodes?
Oh, millions.
They would have rung in the money in 48 hours.
Yeah.
That's why I'm really surprised they never put it on iTunes like the previous time round with Web of Fear and End of the World. I'm really surprised they never cashed in on that. That's bizarre. I know Film is Fabulous suggested they put it on iPlayer. Good for them. To make it more accessible for a lot of people. Yeah.
Remind me, we are going to come back to this when we talk about the master plan stories in the show. But there's this element, where they haven't announced that yet. So it's going to get the exclusivity to the event that Film with Fabulous announced this week, which is now sold out. iPlayer, and then there's abroad. What happens there? So they haven't announced, again, not announcing, not communicating, not telling people what's going on, especially the huge amount of fans. And because, of course, they messed up their distribution patterns because they went with the Disney deal, they can't rely on ABC in Australia. They can't rely on whoever they were doing it around there. Because, it would have been easy for them before to just say, we've got these new episodes. Can you broadcast them when we broadcast them in Britain?
Well, I'm hoping that ABC will just do that to the BBC because it's like it serves them right because they just completely betrayed them, didn't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah, they've supported them for decades, haven't they? They've supported them for decades.
Well, since 1963, quite frankly.
ABC was like Australia BBC. They were as loyal to Doctor Who as the BBC were at that point. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
They've burned all their bridges.
Yeah.
We are coming back to that subject. We are going to get onto the Daleks Master Plan and other things, because it could be a great year for us as Doctor Who fans, proper Doctor Who fans this year in 2026. We're going to be talking about that in this particular show. But I want to move on. So thank you for that. We're going to keep an eye on, as we keep saying, about what's going on with the BBC, because eventually it will, of course, hit Doctor Who, whatever they're going to do. Because Doctor Who, whatever is going to happen to Doctor Who, the original 26-year run of Doctor Who will be a very strong contender in whatever the BBC does, because that's the one people's interested in. Not necessarily the 20 years of the reboot, as we now know, but certainly those concise, brilliant 26 years of classic British television. That's going to be a money earner, whatever they're doing. Could YouTube be involved? I don't know. I want to move on now, guys, to, we were talking last week about the Star Fury convention that was being held last weekend. Now, again, I want to reiterate that for ourselves here on the panel and for the majority of people watching this channel, the Star Fury convention isn't probably for us. It's one of those cases where they've been saying for years now, this show isn't for you. Well, the Star Fury convention reflects that, because Christopher Eccleston, what's her name, Jodie Whittaker and Ncuti Gatwa were all there. So they were. It's there for the
wait, Chris Eccleston wasn't there, was he?
Oh, no, he wasn't there. Yes, we talked about that. He was supposed to be there, and because they didn't pay him up front, he didn't go.
Yeah.
But Jodie Whittaker and Ncuti Gatwa were there. And this is him. This is Ncuti on stage, everybody. This is what he looks like at the moment.
God, that's the butchest I've seen him. Yeah.
I hate that photo. I think I said to you at the time, JT, there's just nothing behind those eyes apart from contempt for whoever he's looking at.
Think so.
Yeah, how much further can I milk you? Because everything else was a failure, so I'll get what money I can here. There's a contemptible human being, and he's got a contemptuous look on his face. Absolutely detest him.
Well, as you can see here, boys and girls, he did do a question and answer session. So he's on the stage. Apparently, Jodie and Mandip Gill did as well. What?
You had to check that, didn't you?
I love when you do that, but yeah.
Such a memorable, you know.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that for Caroline John or Fraser
Caroline
Hines.
Ford,
Well,
or,
that's
yeah.
my
No,
Doctor Who.
no.
It hasn't seen this new version, as you guys know. I've never seen it, never invested in it. I wouldn't know them or tripped over them.
We've seen it with enough trouble remembering them as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
In fact, we've blotted them out, haven't we, Ian? Yes.
We'll try to.
Yeah.
There were reports that came up on the Monday about the convention and what Mr. Gatwa was saying on stage, everybody, because he did answer questions. Very interesting. Now, a lot of the you weren't allowed to take videos in this, which I find very strange for a convention. I've never heard anything like this. So this is either coming from the organizer or it's coming from the divas actors. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if it was coming from the actors. It wouldn't surprise me if they had certain demands. Now, I'd tell them to take a running jump, to be quite honest, because you're paying hundreds of pounds.
Yeah.
And these young people who are invested in this crap, which they call Doctor Who. I mean, it made me laugh because in some of the photographs, somebody was taking photographs. They were not supposed to take photographs in this, but as you can see from that one, somebody was, and they put them online, so we've got some of them.
Yeah.
And it made me laugh, guys, that some of the audience did have pink, blue, and green hair.
Yeah, I did see some of that,
yeah. I rest my point, everybody, that I've been saying for the past 3 years on this channel. I rest my
Was that just on one person's head? It probably was. Wasn't it?
There was probably someone with the rainbow in there as well. Somebody I just want to go, oh, please. You know what I mean? But they did ask certain questions. Now, from some of the people that were there, and I won't give him a credit because I don't know him, on X, he was actually saying he was okay with the event. He said it wasn't the best one he's been to. He ended up spending over £500 on just the actors. That's not his merchandise, of which he seemed to get a bit of new stuff, not as much around, but he got a bit of new stuff. But over £500 on just photographs taken with them, getting them to sign all these lovely things. He said he queued in lines for them, but he's reported back on some of Ncuti Gatwa's panel. And apparently he was fairly muted. And he's come across as being sad and unhappy about his time with Doctor Who. And this
he's not the only one, is he? Let's be honest.
I thought you were going to say he looks sad and pathetic, because I could have believed that.
Yeah. The interesting thing about this Who Views is that it seems that he was expecting more and didn't get it. He didn't get what he expected Doctor Who to be. Now, this would tie in with stuff we've said at the very beginning, when we heard that Russell had said no to his original idea of what Ncuti wanted to say. Now, Ncuti said at this convention what he wanted the Doctor to wear and what he saw his version of the Doctor to wear. So I've got it here. Ncuti wanted his costume to have a flat cap and a tweed jacket, possibly with a waistcoat. But RTD said, no, that's too boring. And that was it. So a Peaky Blinders type look for his Doctor. And he wanted it throughout his entire run, which he was expecting to be at least 3 to 4 seasons.
That sounds incredibly sensible for Ncuti. I'm quite shocked, aren't you?
Well, after the thing he said in his little Pyramids of Mars memory TARDIS thing, I would say, Ncuti, that's cultural appropriation, you hypocritical git.
Yeah,
well, it's better than the poncho he was wearing in that scene.
Oh, God.
Remember that?
Yeah. I thought he was going to say he wanted to appear just, naked apart from a pair of chaps.
Well, this person on I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at one of the photographs because there's one of the green, blue, and yellow hair brigade all on one boy.
I was right. Yeah,
you were.
Yeah.
But another person a discussion comes off the back of this on this X account. So a few of these people get involved. And this particular person says, Ncuti seems to have less than stellar thoughts on the fates of Belinda and Ruby. He gave quite a laugh when asked about it. All he says is, Poppy's cute. Poppy's really cute. So I'm sure Belinda's happy. He went on to continue up. Oh, yeah, Belinda ended up a mum. Oh, she did. Poppy's really cute. She's happy. And that was it.
Inane crap, isn't it?
He's so articulate, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. It's just inane rubbish. He's not saying anything at all. It's just
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing about that as well, it just comes across to me that again, I'm getting the feeling, and I shouldn't because I wasn't there and I don't know him. I never will know him. I never want to go and see him. So it's very unlikely we'll ever pass or cross, and I'll be anywhere that he is to listen to, because I wouldn't go to one of his panels. But it seems to me that we know he left early. So I'm wondering again, guys, a division between him and RTD, maybe?
Maybe, yeah. Well, there's been rumours of conflict, hasn't there? And if Russell's second year is like his first, it would make perfect sense, allegedly, wouldn't it? From what we've heard about RTT1, you know. So you know what I mean?
Yeah. Margie was saying to us there, Shooty was finally having a moment of clarity, and Darren Reed is saying real deep stuff, Shooty.
Yeah.
I wonder if they said no videos because they thought somebody like him might say something really stupid. Do you remember when they were on, when he was in the role and they were on TV for interviews and things, he'd keep looking off camera for RTD's prompt, what he could say, what he couldn't say. And then on, was it Graham Norton, where he did fluff and said something he shouldn't have done. So maybe that was why. You can have him, but no videos.
Well, there's Julianne saying that Star Fury events have said that the no filming is a copyright issue. Star Fury asserts that the events and guest talks are copyright to them, and unauthorized filming is considered a breach of this copyright. I have never heard of anything so bullcrappy in my life. What are they doing? Why are people supporting this event? I've held conventions. I've been to zillions of conventions. I've never heard anything like that. Yes, you have a contract with somebody, but you negotiate it properly. And if fans are turning up to see somebody they like from their version of the show and paying hundreds of pounds to do so, you shut your mouths and bend over backwards to make sure they are happy.
I think when AI comes in and takes over the whole industry, that's the kind of copyright things you'd have for that, not for a convention.
Yeah, you're right. Honestly, I can't stand all this bureaucracy or crappiness or whatever it's going to be. I'm sorry, I just don't agree with this, especially because these are hard times for everybody. And when I'm seeing people saying that they spent over £500 just on the artists who are not short for money, I think that's taking the piss, quite frankly.
This is just greedy, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely is. Let's get into the chat because a lot of you are in here with you. Dalek Shalom is saying to us, a Rwandan in a flat cap and tweeds. He thinks he's Chris Eubanks. Now, Chris Eubanks, I used to see occasionally in Brighton because he lived in or near Brighton back in the day. I don't know if he still does. Very smartly dressed man. Couldn't fault
very eloquent, very intelligent. Chris Eubanks.
Yes, lovely speaker as well. I seem to recall.
Fantastic boxer as well.
Fantastic shoes. Honest to God, fantastic shoes. He was always because he'd be walking down the street. And he had this sort of, not a Land Rover. Was it a Land Rover? Like a GP thing. I don't know. Amazing. Something like that. Yeah. Very friendly man. But I always went, oh, God, I wish I had the money to dress like that because he looked stunning. Absolutely stunning. Thank you for that, Dalek Shalom. Marie UK saying to us, I don't know if I believe him. He seemed very happy in that dress. Yeah. G. Gray is saying to us, I rarely queued for autographs back in the 90s when they were free. So I definitely wouldn't do it now, especially for that lot. Exactly. Matt the Silence is saying to us, Belinda is basically Martha Jones Mark II. Isn't it amazing, though, that we had it good, guys? We had in the days, we had it fantastic. We just had actors there who were just delightful and grateful that they had people interested in seeing them.
Maybe Shoot is disappointed because he didn't have the great American career that he was supposed to be going straight off to.
It doesn't look like he has
he? He's probably a bit bitter about it, I would imagine. Yeah.
Doesn't look like he's got that at all, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And of course, he was in a massive flop, and he left the show early. They were refilming early last year, weren't they? And doing the reality kitchen sink of what an absolute mess. Funky, thank you for your super chat. I don't like conflicts. BTS, what's that? I don't like conflicts, BTS, or behind the scenes of Doctor Who. But then again, I don't like any type of breakfast cereal. I love my Weetabix, John Funky, I have to tell you. Lovely. But yes, thank you for that. That's brilliant. Space Peninsula, nice to see you. RTD saying that look is boring when the Peaky Blinders look is one of the most iconic TV silhouettes in recent years. Finger on the pulse again, RTD. You have to be right. And look didn't Peaky Blinders get a movie?
Yes, it did. Yeah.
Didn't it do fairly well?
See, the bizarre thing about whether it's true or not is that the fact that he considered it his uniform or costume the entire time, he was thinking the way we were thinking. Let's have a silhouette, an image, and he thought of his own costume. He actually put some thought into it, which I'm really surprised about in the first place, to be honest.
Well, I think we've covered that before, where he actually went
Yeah.
in saying, "This is what I want to do, and this is what I want to do with the Doctor," and then suddenly RTD, we can assume, turned around and said, "No, this is what we're doing with him, and we're going to make him clear," and all this crap. It doesn't look as if Ncuti was coming to the role like that. It looks like Ncuti may have possibly have been coming to the role with clarity, a conviction, an excitement, an energy, and possibly having done his homework about he knew how Matt Smith had played the Doctor.
And Russell stifled all that, which actually is such a shame. Maybe, I doubt it, maybe he might have been quite good if he'd gone his own way. Who knows?
Yeah.
I doubt it.
I doubt it as well, but you just will never know.
Yeah.
It's all going to come out in the wash in the future, everybody. It really will. I mean, but he did go mad. As Woodhouse 122 is saying to us here, it sounds like Gatwa is shifting the blame. I'll never forgive his touch grass comments. Because, again, there was this assumption. Sometimes I think that certain people may have been lying.
Yeah.
And saying, oh, this has happened, and this has happened, and this has happened. Because they're in this little bubble, aren't they, when they're filming this thing?
Yeah.
It's not just his touch grass comments, though, is it? It's him and that Belinda actor woman resting bitch face, where they were saying, you know, not white people in charge of the TARDIS. We're going to piss so many people off by meaning white people, and it's just like, come on, really?
Yeah. So again, just an interesting sideline there for you all, everybody. Here on Headlines at Who's Views.
Did you get Mark's super chat, JT?
I think I'm getting there now. Didn't I read it out?
I don't think so. Mark Greaves, a £5 super chat. Thank you, Mark. A retired veteran tried to stop far left nut jobs desecrating a war memorial in Blackpool. Police were called, and there's no surprise here, is there? They arrested the veteran, and nothing reported on the BBC.
Oh Christ, really? Oh God.
So it was in relevance to our BBC conversation.
Yeah, it happens to that all the time, Mark. In Liverpool on Church Street, for years and years and years, there's been a gentleman there doing the usual traditional thing of standing on a street corner and spreading the word of God, the Christian God, and Jesus and the stories. And he's been there God knows how many years. And apparently, allegedly, a few weeks ago, he was arrested because the speech may have upset certain people. He's been there for years.
The government this week have just said, in reference to people being upset about all the Muslims blocking Trafalgar Square, praying, Khan and government ministers have come out and said nobody is restricted from praying in public in Britain. And that's such an absolute lie.
But that's what we're used to now, isn't it? We're used to that. Marine Boy, nice to see you. Gatwa left early because he was fed up hiding whenever RTD turned up on set. And Raymond Williams saying to us, Ncuti couldn't act. He could only get better if he regenerated into someone else. Well, I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, there's that. Graham, it's good to see you. Graham's in the chat saying, personally, I'd never pay for anyone's autograph or to meet them. I'd pay for them to entertain me, but not just to meet them, etc. But this is the thing. They know they make money now, which is why they're all there, you know.
But they have to gauge their value. But I mean, charging is one thing, but charging 150 quid for an autograph and a photograph is ridiculously greedy. You know, if you're going to charge something, charge for your worth. In fact, why doesn't he pay people so he'll sign for them? You know what I mean?
It's shocking, though, isn't it, where we're up to? But again, there you go. There you go. All right.
At least when we got Pertwee's autograph, it covered the entire damn page. Gatwa's is literally postage stamp, isn't it? And it changes from signature to signature as well. There's no consistency. You can tell
we showed that last week, didn't we?
Yeah, you can tell a Pertwee one, though, can't you? Or a Tom Baker one. But
I just feel, rightly or wrongly, I feel for these alleged fans of that version of our beloved show, which is nothing to do with our version of the show. Ours is superior in every single facet. And this mincing ninny version comes along, and the female one comes along and craps on everything that has gone before. recreating the character of the Doctor, so it's not the Doctor. So you can actually, at the end of Capaldi, cut it off. You can cut it off before that if you care, like I'm sort of starting to do. But certainly at the end of Capaldi, Moffat has done a deliberate, I reckon, end of scene. You know, the end of just go and that's it. But you can do that. But I do feel for the fans of this that are going to see Whittaker or Gatwa or anyone associated with this nonsense and paying so much money and then being told you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't say this, you can't do that, you can't do... No, that's not a proper convention. And they don't know any different because they weren't there when we were at proper conventions where you only had to pay to get in.
The Comic Cons I've been to recently, you have to pay for autographs there or photographs, whatever, but they don't have any restrictions at all on videoing things or taking photographs when they're doing a panel and things like that. There's no restrictions at all. They have common sense, you know?
Yeah. But that's what you've got to do. You know, having put these things together myself, I can't be bothered with all that crap. People are coming from all over the country. They're spending money. They're spending money on hotels and travel. Some of them all have kids. That's extra expense.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot to plan at these things as well. You come in to see people that you want to go into the show. You can meet your friends there. You might be making new friends there. That's what it's all about. You know, that's what it's all about. Don't be giving them, oh, you can't do this and you can't do this and you can't do this. You know, I wouldn't mind. And the actors, I'm sure, if they start to say to things like, I don't want to be filmed, well, you're an actor, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
What's wrong
the Scarborough one next month, which I'm hoping to go to, is just literally payment on entry, although autographs, they generally charge about a tenner.
Yeah.
But that's it. But you can photograph what you want. You can video what you want. And it's getting a good rep for it, is Sci-Fi Scarborough.
Oh, good.
McGann's there, Paul, you know.
Oh, no. Yeah.
PB saying to us that David Goodison is charging £20 for his autograph next month at Taunton Comic Con. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
£20 is nothing. That's that's okay. You know. But...
I still wouldn't pay for an autograph. I'm sorry, but I'm not interested. Anyway, let's move on because our favourite Thavuna and TQ cult activist RTD has been in the news this week twice. Now, bearing in mind that he's currently supposed to be working on the Christmas 2026 version of Doctor Who, this crept up because it seems that his alleged television hit, It's a Sin, is what he could possibly be working on now, because this has come from social media with the story that followed it from the BBC on BBC News. RTD adapts It's a Sin for a stage show. Russell T Davies and the Pet Shop Boys are adapting hit Channel 4 drama It's a Sin for a dance production to be premiered in Manchesterford. Yes, Davies, 62. Remember that, everybody. He's 62. Created the award-winning TV series, which followed a group of gay men, actual homosexuals, and their friends as they navigated the United Kingdom's HIV and AIDS crisis throughout the 1980s and into the early 90s. Production companies Rambert and Factory International have revealed that the TV producer will be teaming up with the pop duo to reimagine It's a Sin as an immersive theatrical performance. RTD, and here we go again, who also wrote Manchester set drama Queen of Folk, over 20 years ago, and the Pet Shop Boys will produce the stage show, which will premiere at Aviva Studios with a date yet to be announced. It's a Sin was such a special show for me, said RTD, who is originally from Swansea. It's one of the greatest honours of my life to have the show transformed by Rambert into something new and exciting. The Pet Shop Boys members, Neil Tennant and Chris Lowe, said the original TV drama was a landmark series which compellingly presented the reality and tragedy of the AIDS crisis to a mass audience. Speaking about their chart-topping single, It's a Sin, which the show was named after, they said, our song was contemporary with the crisis, and we are proud to be involved as this poignant and important story is interpreted in a different medium. The highly acclaimed series aired in 2021 and starred Ollie Alexander and Callum Scott Howells, and also featured Stephen Fry, Tracy Ann Oberman, and US actor Neil Patrick Harris. The stage production will combine contemporary dance and cinematic visuals to tell an immersive story with set and video designed by Luke Hall Studios. The musicians will also work closely with American singer Roman Gian Arthur, who will compose the music for the show. It will be choreographed and directed by Rambert's artistic director, Benoit Swan Pouffer, who will also co-write the script with dramaturg Kate O'Reilly. Pouffer said, storytelling sits at the heart of Rambert's mission. This is a story we feel compelled to tell right now, and collaborating with RTD, one of the most powerful storytellers of our time, God, is exciting. Yeah. Together, we're exploring how dance and choreography can carry urgent emotional narratives in a visceral way. I can't wait to share this with the audiences, and there is so much more still to come as the work evolves. John McGrath, Factory International Artistic Director and Chief Executive, said, RTD is an icon, please, and the story he tells in It's a Sin has resonated with all ages. Rambert would no doubt retell the story with great vision and beauty. We can't wait to premiere this collaboration at our home, Aviva Studios, before sharing it with an exceptional group of national and international producers.
Holy, hold the phone, wait a minute. Is Russell T Davies Welsh, is he?
Apparently so.
Yeah, right, that's
I know which icon he is on your phone. It's that curly turd one, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
That's the only icon I think of.
And what is the director? What was his job again? What was that?
Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, but this was big news because they went on to, I mean, this is them here, the Pet Shop Boys on the right and him on the, Pet Shop Boys on the left and him on the right there. This was all from the social media. But he's supposed to be working on Doctor Who, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
So what's he doing on this now? Is he just an exec, or, you know, because he said somebody else was writing this in the article there then, so is he overseeing that? I thought he was really busy. He's got the TQ cult drama coming onto Channel 4. I think, I'm led to believe, in April. It's been rushed through. And again, they mentioned it in that article there, Ian, like the TQ cult thing that's coming along on Channel 4. This is the right time to do it, because all these people in their echo chamber think that they're all being got at because they think the far right is getting at them, when actually they are completely and utterly deluded by their own misconceptions.
They absolutely are. The situation, and there is an awakening in the country, probably in the world, really, with regards to a backlash on all that kind of ideology, because it is quite toxic and it is exceptionally far left, and they don't like it. But the problem is, it's an environment that they have created. They've enforced themselves everywhere, and they're trying to dictate speech and thought. And when people don't like that, they're dressing that up as being aggression towards them, but actually they've been aggressive to everybody else in the meantime, and they are absolutely deluded. But hasn't he written 6 or 7 versions of the Christmas thing? He's probably just tossed them up in the air like some kind of championship tosser, which I'm sure he is, and whichever one's landed on the table first is the one they're going to film, and he can move on.
Like Ernie Wise, he can knock one off in the afternoon, can't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's true.
Very well worded.
Tony Graydon, Tony Graydon, I see what you did there. What have I done to deserve this? Very, very good. And Raymond, I've said this before many times, and I totally agree with you. Raymond Williams is saying RTD is one note trick pony, money for old low, literally. Yes, it's the same thing he's brought out. And remember, he's always said he writes what he knows, which as a writer means he's got a very limited perception on what he can do, right? And as Ian has said before many times on Headlines, his original stint in Doctor Who, back from 2005 onwards, a lot of the stronger episodes weren't his.
Yeah.
And yet he'll get all the credit for it. They keep churning out the fact that in 1999, he was extremely lucky with a well-timed drama called Queer as Folk, which made him a lot of money because he sold the rights to America, and it went for 5 seasons, a lot longer than it went here, you know? So this is all he writes about. He did Bob and Rose, which was about a gay man falling in love with a heterosexual woman. Oh, that could now be a trans drama if you do it different now, couldn't you? You could have, he's got this thing coming out in April. He had It's a Sin. It's the same subject matter, all in Manchester, all on Canal Street, that vile place, you know?
He can't possibly need the money. That's why he's doing a musical version or a dance version of It's a Sin. Is he broke or something?
He's probably just jumping on the bandwagon. There's been other sort of like musicals of other shows, hasn't there? And he just probably doesn't want to be left out, I would have thought. Possibly.
Well, again, he's working with some people here that in the TQ cult have made. I mean, even the Pet Shop Boys now. I have to. I'm a Pet Shop Boys fan, but I would never go and see them again because they come out in favour of the TQ cult.
Yeah.
You know, which you should never do. Keep your mouths shut and keep your opinions to yourselves because you're going to lose 50% of your fan base. And I'm not going to buy any of their stuff anymore or support them because I think you don't know what a woman is. You don't know what a man is. You're supporting a homophobic cult. But it's this whole thing, isn't it, about these people? They're all in the same thing. So he must be wetting himself when they came to him, and the Rambert came to him with these names of saying these people would love to adapt It's a Sin, and we do a big musical thing. And he's gone, oh God, wonderful, marvelous. Let's do that. Let's do that. That's wonderful. That's marvelous. You know, and he's wet himself over it.
Yeah, I can write my Doctor Who script the night before production. That'll be fine.
Yeah. Yes, I can give them green papers. Yeah. Daryl, good to see you. Daryl Joyce, wonderful artist, is here in the chat with us saying it's the work outing. Yes, we'll be hiring that bus. We'll all be going down there. Not Digby. So RTD continues to cannibalize his own work.
And the majority of his own work has always been cannibalized from other people's anyway. But yeah.
It's money as well, isn't it? It's just money. It's money. Matt and Spiel, yawn. The play sounds fascinating. I wonder how many trans characters they will now insert into this. Because one thing, it must have killed him when I watched that thing. And I don't know if PB and Legion of James in the chat agree with me. But I did watch It's a Sin. And I thought, yes, this is okay. I didn't think it was brilliant. I didn't think it was wonderful. Well, I thought it was okay. You know, I thought, yeah, this is good. This is a nice.
The Dalek bit was good, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, I thought that was unnecessary, quite frankly. That was bloody awful. But I just thought this is okay. The only reason he did that was to try and get Doctor Who fans to watch it.
Yeah.
You know, silly. But what was I going to say? Yeah. So I thought it was okay. I can't remember where I was going with this now because you interrupted me.
Sorry.
I can't remember what I was going to say. No, can't remember what I was going to say. It's gone out of my head. It happens these days, everybody. So sorry. If it comes back to me, I'll remember. I'll try and remember. PB is saying, Pet Shop Boys and RTD didn't have that on my bingo card. Well, that's his pension pot sorted. Let's make more money out of the HIV and AIDS. I mean, they should be giving something to a charity, shouldn't they? Surely, shouldn't they? Didn't watch the series as Camp 1970 lives, so won't watch the stage show. An easy way to audition muscular young men by any chance RTD, allegedly. I don't even know if he's going to be there. What's his? You know, he's probably going to be some sort of exec.
I think you were going to say I think he was really annoyed with himself. He couldn't put in any trans characters in the TV version.
Oh yes, thank you.
It's set in the 80s. That's what I think.
Yes, in the 80s. Yes, thank you, Paul. That's exactly what I was going to say. And it must have killed him because he couldn't insert them into it because he would have had clever idiots like me coming along saying that didn't happen, and he wanted it to be as near the knuckles so he can get his applause and get his awards as possible. And it proved the point, LGBT without the TQ, because we did not have them there. They were not there at that point. And transvestites are not transgenders. Yeah, so it must have killed him, guys, when he had to write them out.
That's your dad in a froth, that one, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, if he's going to put them in now, if he's going to put them on in this now, it'll be because I reckon it's going to be the minimal TQ cult audience that go to see this. It's going to be the echo chamber.
I'm surprised he's not got Alan Cumming involved in some way, shape, or form.
Well, he's in Tiptoe, isn't he? He's in the new one.
And everything else he's doing, because he was working with him on that thing that he's now director of in that theatre in Scotland, isn't he?
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know. The casting has not yet happened. Isn't he supposed to be working on Tiptoe, says the PVFS? Yes, he is. I'm hearing it's nearly done. It's nearly ready. And I've also heard that they're trying to get it out onto Channel 4 in April. That's in a couple of weeks. So if that's true, we'll be hearing about it soon.
It depends when this It's a Sin actually goes to be a production, because Alan Cummings is doing a musical version of The High Life. Remember that?
I used to love that
trolley dolly thing he did. Yeah.
The High Life was a BBC Scotland comedy back in the day, boys and girls, and it was so funny. I actually have the DVD of it, Paul, from all those years ago, and it was funny. But then I can't look at it again now because again we know where Alan Cumming is today. He's a raving lunatic.
Patrick Rycart was very funny as the pilot.
Patrick Rycart was fab. Yeah. And Shona Spurtle, you know, I loved it. Happy days. Happy days, everybody. But anyway, that's one thing that Russell's been up to. Lots of you in the chat now about this. He's not a favourite on our channel, as we have to say, and he deserves not to be, because he killed our show. Chibnall started to bury it, and then Russell did
Killed it.
Yeah,
We desecrated it and killed it again.
Yeah.
Lex is saying to us for a super
And then
chat
kicked
here.
it again.
Yeah, for a super chat here. Thank you, Lex. It might be Doctor Who Christmas 2026 cancelled. Well, from what we know, BBC Studios are still absolutely 100% trying to get Doctor Who something on for Christmas. Stay tuned to us on the channel, because, of course, we're going to be watching that every step of the way. Julie is here with us. Hello, Julie. P8S1U. Bit behind. I do have some sympathy for Shooty. The blame's on RTD. I suspect he had a miserable time. I'm actually beginning to think, Julie, he did. And now he's out of control, and now he's away from any contractual obligation. I think we might be seeing a little bit more from Mr. Gatwa in the next couple of years. And I think he's going to get a little bit more confident, like Eccleston did. Let's see if it happens. Now, the great thing is, many great things if this show comes off the air, I have to be honest. But one of the things is that everybody relaxes. And as we know from the original Wilderness years, they start to chat.
Yeah.
This time round, we've got social media and shows like ours who will report on it.
Yeah.
So, very, very exciting. But let's see what happens. Frankie Standish is saying, let's make lots of money. I see what you did there. Jason Parker also saying, PSB got the balls. RTD has no new ideas. Let's make lots of money. Honestly, oh God, I used to really, really, really like the Pet Shop Boys, and they've gone down in my estimation a lot. John C, good to see you. I think it was the last Christmas Doctor Who special for quite a few years after 2026. I personally think it's going to be the last we see of Doctor Who for quite a few years after Christmas 2026. RTD, of course, was in the news for other reasons this week, as his fans turned on him. Why did they turn on him? I have no idea, because I don't understand any of this crap when it comes to AI. But RTD put out onto his social medias this and said it was amazing. So for the podcast, we've got this work from this particular gentleman called Vortex in Time on the Instagram. And he's used AI to put a police box there, a version of Hartnell, two oldie 1960s BBC cameras with two gentlemen dressed as they would have been back in the day, filming on what looks like some sort of set. And then there's another one that he put out as well, which is this, which is a makeshift, which is the TARDIS console on a different sort of TARDIS set. And you can see the police box doors and the camera there as well. And what has happened here is Russell has gone on, RTD has gone on and said, amazing, kiss, kiss. Look below that as well. John Barrowman has also come to say it was brilliant as well. So I don't understand then what's gone on. So where did I go to? Oh, yes. I went to the Woke-tro to see what was going on here, because of course I did, because they love RTD, don't they? Doctor Who fans claim Boss has lost it after Instagram post, says Rebecca Cook. Doctor Who fans, the minority of them that is, have been left disappointed after showrunner RTD shared an AI-generated clip of William Hartnell. The video was created by an Instagram user who exclusively shares AI-generated clips of themselves supposedly traveling back in time to such events as Partygate and Princess Diana's wedding day. A recent clip saw him claim to be on the 1963 set of the first episode of Doctor Who, although several social media users have pointed out huge anachronisms in the video. In it, Hartnell's artificially reanimated figure can be seen in the background, speaking with a crew member and standing in front of the TARDIS. In a voiceover, the creator claimed the first TARDIS was made of cardboard, it was actually built with wood, and questioned when Hartnell might have discussed with the crew in between takes when the episode was filmed as if it were live for minimal editing. In the comments section of the post, John Barrowman described it as brilliant, and RTD himself also wrote amazing, which he reiterated when he shared the Instagram reel to his story. The decision to promote AI slop. Now, this is something you'll see a lot of now. I'd never heard about it till this week, but they call it AI slop, has disappointed several alleged fans, our lad, online, with somebody we mentioned last week, Matthew Purchase, sharing the post on X with the caption, "Oh God, RTD likes AI slop. The post has been viewed over 200,000 times. Sammy wrote on X, hiya Sammy, the TARDIS prop didn't look like that. All the sets are wrong. Literal slop. And I don't know why RTD would post that. Meanwhile, somebody
I'm with him.
Yeah. So meanwhile, some poisonous person I'm not going to mention similarly commiserates over the lack of accuracy, while Romana said it proved Davis needs to step back from the show. I think above all else, it just proves he's out of touch and that we need new blood in the writer's room. The same three people can't write Doctor Who forever if it's going to continue and continue successfully, she wrote. Z was another disappointed fan online, writing, that must be a Star Wars fan. Why use this slop when the show has successfully recast these actors and had old doctors reappear without de-aging effects? This show only exists today because of the love and care humans put into creating it. While some Whovians believed the furore was making a mountain out of a molehill, others framed the promotion of AI as a moral issue, given the threats it poses to the entertainment industry and those working on shows like Doctor Who. RTD subsequently appeared to remove the post from his story, but he still follows the account posting this AI-generated content and has not deleted his comment. Other fans dug up a years-old interview of RTD alongside Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson, in which he suggested that Doctor Who could one day recreate the past Doctors with CGI. A lot of them, I mean, cancel him, everybody. Go and cancel him. Yeah, cancel him. That's what you love to do, you freaks. But I don't understand this at all. A lot of them were going on here about the effects to the environment.
What? I must admit, I find this kind of AI really irritating. It's about kind of a bit of a pet hate with me as well. I sent you guys, I think, the other day there, a picture of that iconic. Have you got it there? Yeah. So yeah, that iconic picture there of the Dark Master Plan. And who the hell are these bloody people that are in the picture? Who are they?
I have no idea. Is that Peter Cushing? I don't know. I don't know.
Harlan's got a bloody moustache, for Christ's sake. What's going on there?
I mean, that is AI done very, very badly and cheaply. But for the news sources to use these things does worry me. When they actually, all you can do is Google, and you'll find the original William Hartnell, Nick Courtney, Pete Purvis, all there.
It's just so disrespectful to real people. It's like often they put up a picture of the first Doctor and it's bloody Richard Hundle or David Bradley. No, it should be William bloody Hartnell, for God's sake. Yeah.
Right. Well, as Burn to Shine is saying to us here, AI uses loads of resources, waters especially. How? Why? How?
It's because it needs a lot of processing power. So there's a lot more data centers and they use a lot more power and they need water to cool and things like that. So it's supposedly damaging on the environment for that reason. But the data centers would be there anyway, and they'd be built anyway because it's an exponential demand. But
well, hang on a minute. If there's all this environmental concern, which I have to hold my hands up right now, Who viewers, I have no clue about this. I'm one of these people. I'm getting older, and at the moment I think this doesn't affect me, so I haven't looked at it. Do you know what I mean? Blah blah blah. I've got my other crusades going on. But I did not know about this. So why is the government pushing this AI stuff as a sector for us in the United Kingdom, Ian?
Well, the government's a little bit, and this is no surprise to anybody, the government is very, what's the word?
Stupid?
Is it bipolar split personality on this? Because on one thing it says it wants it to be an AI superpower, and I think you've got America and possibly China and then us. At the minute, as far as AI superpower, if you like that word, is concerned, Britain's about third.
Yes, I heard that. Yeah,
really, really good. But then they're also talking about wanting to tie us back more and more to the regulatory power of the EU, and the EU is an AI backwater. And if we did that, if we went back to the AI, which is into the EU, which is personally insane.
What Labour wants. Yeah, what Labour wants. Yeah.
Of course, without a vote, then the EU would start to regulate our AI work, which would mean we would get dragged down to their level and we would be an AI backwater like they are. And that means you can't have the AI intentions that they want because they'd be going in the opposite direction. So it's a little bit stupid, really. But computer costs and everything of we were buying some stuff at work and the order got cancelled, and then we were reissued the order, but the prices had gone up 400%. And that's all the memory chips that go in things. They're all a lot more expensive now because there is greater demand, because all of it's been bought up to go into data centers to power the kit that does the AI generation, basically.
I had no idea. I thought this was something you got on the internet and was a bit of fun. That's how ignorant I am. That I did not know anything about that. So thank you for that, Ian.
Huge
Thank
amount
you
of processing power to generate those images. The stuff that Journey does, it's just incredible. But there's a lot of crunching that goes on in the background there.
I did not know.
I think there is some kind of good in some of the AI I've seen, and we've seen bits and pieces we've seen from viewers and whatever, is really good. But what drives me crazy is that ever so often you get like the master plan picture I sent to you, that you get this bizarre kind of, they don't look like the people they're meant to represent. It doesn't look like the TARDIS or whatever. And it's like, what's the bloody point in just changing it? It's like it's not creating it again properly. You're just making something else, which is not representative of what it's meant to be. It's just really stupid.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some great artists that we know. Daryl in the chat, of course, being one of them. That's incredible stuff with AI, and that's why I thought, this. But
Daryl's doing it with his artwork, and he's dictating accurate prompts. So Daryl's creating scenes around stories that we know, like one of those compilations where you had the Robo Men and Dalek Invasion of Earth and everything. It was all keyed into the story, scenes that we hadn't seen in the story, but relevant to the story all the same, and very, very accurate. So it was his artwork to start with that was being animated and staying true to his artwork. But what other people are doing with that ridiculous Dalek Master Plan picture there is they're just saying, oh, an old man with grey hair is holding this silver cylinder, and you can see the cylinder looks like it's something that it's like a trinket box almost, and it's put a mustache on him and everything else because they haven't been accurate with their prompts.
Maybe that was maybe Peter Cushing then, was it?
You can feed in images that it can use for reference. So you can give it a picture of William Hartnell and say, like Stephen Braddock's picture there, you could feed in that picture and ask it to upscale it and color it and everything else, and it would be accurate. But what they've done is they've tried to describe that picture and done it very, very badly, because in the background, of course, is a window and curtains, and it's like, I'm pretty certain the Dalek base wasn't focused on soft furnishings. You know what I mean?
It's the gay Daleks. Remember that?
Oh God, yeah, God. Funny at the day, but I don't know. A lot of you here knew all this. You're all up on this, everybody in the chat. So this is brilliant. But again, as a couple of you have said in the chat, it just gets me that some of the people that were criticizing RTD for this, and he won't know about this either, quite frankly. He's just gone, oh, pretty picture, share. I'm sure. It's like something I would do and not realize what you're going to get suddenly, all these idiots coming at you. It's his own fan base. There are several of them that have channels on the Tube of Who that get very healthy viewing figures, if you can count the viewing figures here, who are up his arse, not literally, but kissing his arse over the last couple of years and getting invites to certain screenings and all this sort of stuff, and then had the shock of having to admit in reviews, actually, that wasn't very good, and oh, don't hate me about it. They were getting at him this very week. These people are getting tired now, some of them are, and they're using their voices with it. But I've got no sympathy for RTJ because it happened to John, it's happened to other people. They've turned on their own, and they've gotten a taste of the medicine now, aren't they?
I'm just hoping that it's not a hint to what's to come, and the episode's going to be a bit AI, and it's going to be a bit a bit meta, which will be awful,
Right.
I don't think he's clever enough to write anything like that, and that probably would be original for Doctor Who, and RTD doesn't do original.
Richard Brooks is saying to Daryl, your work is amazing and your use of AI to augment your talent is awesome. And that's what it's about, isn't it, really? I mean, that's what I thought it was all about. It was supposed to be about an addition to art, but I was also aware and quite frightened of the fact, they're bringing people back that have been dead for 20 years or 30 years or whatever. Oh, and actually, could this be used to prove that you were somewhere where you shouldn't be somewhere? Would the police be here? can of worms for me.
It can be
really
abused
is.
massively. Yeah, I mean,
It has
I'm
to
still
be, Paul. Yeah.
I'm still rankling with the idea they did that with Peter Cushing in Rogue One. He appears
Yeah.
in Rogue One. I mean, really, and there's a court case about that, but using his image without his permission. In effect, I know he was dead before that, but just abusing his image and using it for other things without paying his estate or his family, whatever. And it's ridiculous. You really should not doing that. You know,
Yeah.
he's the man's dead. You know, I think for something like Doctor Who reconstructions for missing episodes, maybe that's okay because that's kind of something they're trying to recreate from something that's gone and lost. But doing a new film with an actor like William Hartnell in it, that's just wrong. I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Completely.
Again, Stephen O'Neill is saying to us they've tampered with season 21 with AI, just like season 13. I think that's something we've got to get used to because it looks like it's also going to be in the remaining 2 color seasons. I have to point out at this point, like I did on the season 21, I hear it is nothing to do with the team that put the Blu-rays together. It's a BBC Studios directive because it's cheap. They can use this and it's cheap. So again, learning what I've just learned from Ian and you guys in the chat, hypocritical industry. They'll bang on about this, but they'll do another. It's like when all these alleged celebrities go to the Oscars and bang on about environmental rights and leave the theatre as a right crap hole for 3 or 4 people to go and clean up.
Yeah.
You know, did you see those pictures? What a bunch of hypocrites. Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's still big discussion about this anyway, isn't it? But I just sort of, I got a perverse kick out of it this week when I saw the fans turning, his own fans turning. You know, people that have been kissing his arse for several years, you know. And
Yeah, no sympathy for him at all. It's thoroughly deserved.
Exactly. Now you're getting a taste of your own medicine. And I just wanted as well, just to look at this and go, well, we've got some examples of some really, what I think is really good AI. And this, of course, comes from somebody that we've featured on the show many times before. It's George the Fourth. So, George, hello. Thank you again for sending me images. This week, we launched our new reviews of the Sarah Jane Adventures here on the channel. And this picture from George seemed to tie in with that beautifully.
Oh, nice.
Incredible.
The 3 Sarahs, everybody. Look at this. In a quarry. Very nice. We've got some pictures, of course, based around the celebration of the return of William Hartnell as the Doctor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
I mean, it's all about the artistic thing. I mean, it's as near as you can get it, I suppose. I don't know enough about it. There we go. But we've also got this one from George.
Oh, I remember seeing that one. That was nice. Yeah.
That's a good one, isn't it? I mean, the fans will come back and say it's the wrong police box. Yes, it is. But, you know, what do you want? I mean, we were saying this when they blew up the bloody thing back in 2004 and 2005.
Yes.
And, you know, it's the wrong
box. The windows are too big.
Yeah. It's the,
that's a fantastic first Doctor, though. That is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And Ian, I know this one is a particular favourite of yours.
I love that. The Doctors there are almost photorealistic. That looks like it is actually them, but the fact that it's in like a 1960s or early 1970s calf.
Yeah,
it's a last of summer wine, doesn't it? A little bit.
Yeah, a NAF calf.
That's
70s wallpaper. Look at the design on the cups. I mean, we all had them in the 70s, and yeah, it's. I love that. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to round that bit off with some nice AI from our friend George the Fourth. So well done to him.
I'll say, sorry, JT, I'll say Midjourney has done a compilation of his Cybermen in the sewers scene and the Cyberman creeping up on the policeman and everything. And that's wonderful. It's great. It's just taking original ideas and just putting a slightly different spin on them. It's nothing controversial, but it's great to watch. And all of us loved his original Cyberman piece before People Who Shall Not Be Mentioned had it taken down.
Yeah,
as well.
Superb. Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Jason Parker, they're really glad I never got the Blu-ray box sets and kept my DVDs. Seeing this AI crap and spent desperate for validation from the Wokarati lovies, often not in the episodes, looking gormless. As I've said before, if you have the VHSs, if you have the DVDs, then keep them. Because they're the last chance you're ever going to get to have the transmitted episodes. Because it looks like, because of BBC Studios and their their obsession with this AI, probably because it's cheap. It looks like they're not going to be quite the same ever again. But yeah. But I'm glad you enjoyed those pictures as well there, everybody in the chat. Thank you so much. Scotsman in New York is with us. Hello. Ian, that TARDIS behind you looks like it's getting ready to take off. Get in, get away from this sodding planet.
Oh, if only. Yeah, it's very tempting.
We'd all be with him as well, wouldn't we, everybody?
Oh, we would, yeah.
Good for him.
We are, of course, still celebrating the fact that 2 missing episodes of Doctor Who have come home. They've been returned, as we know. We've had a couple of shows now celebrating the fact that the Daleks Master Plan episodes are back at the BBC and about to launch on the BBC iPlayer on the 4th of April. We will be here live on Saturday night with our review of the Daleks Master Plan. So please make sure you come and join us. It's up on the channel for you right now. Ring that bell and make sure you don't miss it. We're also going to be doing a couple of days before that, just before Good Friday on the Thursday. We're going to be looking at Mission to the Unknown, because we can't do the Daleks Master Plan without Mission to the Unknown, can we? But it's great to see that in our media sources here in the UK, they are also continuing to talk about these 2 missing episodes. This is a big deal. It's not just for Doctor Who fans, but the industry is absolutely delighted. And they're not letting it go anywhere, guys, which is great to see, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely, yes. I couldn't be happier at the moment. I really couldn't.
No, couldn't be happier. Film is fabulous this week. And again, a big up to them and congratulations to them. And great work to Film is Fabulous. Absolutely stunning stuff. But they this week put out a very quick press release to say, we're going to have an event, which we'd actually mentioned, didn't we, guys, on the show last week? Yeah. We're having an event where we're going to screen the episodes. Well, it came and went like a summer cloud. Reference the episode, Whose Views? BBC Television, London, W128QT, postcards only. But yeah, they came and went like a summer cloud because the press release came out half an hour, I think, before it hit at 12 o'clock at midday. And by 2 minutes past 12, the whole thing had crashed and you couldn't get a ticket. So if you did get a ticket to their event, congratulations and enjoy the Saturday, 4th of April screening with a load of other excited Doctor Who fans. Chuff for you. Absolutely chuff for you. Me, I'll be sitting at home waiting for at my mother's home rather, with a cup of tea and a suggestive biscuit ready for the iPlayer to drop. As simple as that. But yeah, there's been a lot of interest in this. Now, this man, you may recognize from something called the BBC's Repair Shop. Now, this is Mark Stuckey. So hello to Mark Stuckey. Now, he also works or is part of Film is Fabulous. It's got a lot to do with them. And it was very interesting that this week he took part in a radio interview with BBC Radio Norfolk. And he said there was an exciting future for Doctor Who fans on the way. So a lot of you wouldn't have heard this. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to play it for you now. We'll be back in a minute. Listen to the interview with Mark Stuckey on BBC Radio Norfolk.
Imagine finding something that's loved by millions, that's been missing for decades. That's exactly what's happened to one film charity who've rediscovered 2 long-lost episodes of Doctor Who from the 1960s. They star William Hartnell as the Doctor, and he's up against his arch-enemy, the Daleks. Film is Fabulous made the discovery. One of the team was Mark Stuckey from Chroma. You may also recognise him from the BBC show The Repair Shop. He told Louise Hulland more about the discovery and what might be on the horizon in the future.
Often the collectors from the past were generally men. Whatever reason, that seems to be the main thing. And what happens is that when they have literally died, the widows suddenly got a large quantity of films and do not know what to do with them. So therefore, fortunately, we are known collector to collector, as it were, and as a registered charity, we're on everybody's side to do the best thing for everybody. The result was they came to us, and then we found out this particular collection was like 10,000 films. Where do you start? Well, you start from the beginning, and you go through, and hopefully somewhere in between you find some real gems. This particular collection we found specifically these sort of two, but there could be some other interesting things happening in the near future. So obviously, until we get all these things finalised, not too much to be said, but there's going to be an exciting future certainly for Doctor Who fans. Now, particularly these two was, I believe, an ex-BBC employer, and naturally didn't want to say, look, I've had these because I love them, because we have to remember in the 70s, particularly with the BBC, they were literally having to destroy content because they literally they run out of room. And they had at the time not a facility to be able to re-show the programmes due to sort of contractual requirements. So they decided to literally landfill or burn. People there thought, I love that film, let me take it, I can't let it go.
Yeah.
And then kept him for all these years.
So you had these 10,000 videos in front of you. I mean, I can't imagine that the film 1 and film 2 of the collection that you put on straight away were Doctor Who. Did you find anything else interesting so far?
We have found numerous different TV programmes, Believe Lost, from Basil Brush's, the Lulu, the series. If some of your listeners remember the old Emergency Ward 10, we found 50 of those. We found Z cars. There are loads. Some we've already, some sort of content we've given over to Talking Pictures TV and also Rewind Television.
Yeah.
Still plenty more to do. And these are all specifically stored in Leicester at Dumont University. We have people there, researchers who go through every content, and you can imagine that takes an incredible amount of time. So to some degree, it's a bit of luck what you come around with first, because they don't always say, oh, look, Doctor Who's in that tin. You have to open it. You have to check it. Then you see what you may have.
For more like this, tune into BBC.
Did you hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exciting times.
Exciting times, Mark Stuckey says, for Doctor Who fans. So as many of you in the chat did hear that and are saying, this is possibly not the end of some missing episodes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Now, that is something we have to look forward to, surely.
It's phenomenal that this person had 10,000 films in the collection, if that's what he's saying. I mean, that's
It's incredible.
incredible. Yeah.
And this one seems to have come out of nowhere and isn't the ones that they were originally looking at, which is just absolutely incredible. But yeah, more episodes. Of course, there's more episodes. We know that.
And if there are other collectors as well, Ian, that have vast collections like this, and they're now saying that these are test copies or editing copies or whatever, and they've come to light in different ways we couldn't imagine, because these are areas we hadn't considered, which is quite scary, isn't it?
It's like an entirely new scene to mine, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's incredibly exciting and offers up hope. And like we've said before, Dalek Master Plan never sold anywhere. So this, along with the pilot episode, which also exists, should never have existed after it was jumped. It should just not be still here. But, there we are.
Well, I'm wetting myself, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I have to tell you, because, the Dalek's Master Plan, we're getting 2 of that back. And from, other things that are going on and stuff like that, you just think, oh, my goodness, this is going to be great. I mean, it just, as we've said before on the show, guys, and as the guys in the chat have said to us many, many times, this is about proper Doctor Who now. We're more excited about seeing a show that's 60 years old than anything, the nonsense that they're going to churn out for Christmas 2026. This is overshadowed. And as I say, for those of you who don't know about this, the media this week has been so excited about William Hartnell's Doctor Who, classic British television. Nobody really gives a toss anymore about the RTD stuff. They're going to have to work hard, guys, to get the press on board rather than looking at 1960s Doctor Who and looking at 2026 Doctor Who, aren't they?
I think this has had more newspaper column inches than the entirety of the previews or reviews for Gatwa's 2 seasons. And I am in absolute no doubt, and I think I said it last week, that the iPlayer viewing figures for these 2 episodes, when they're released, they will blast RTD's latest tosh out of the water. Absolutely. It will absolutely humiliate him, and it's what he deserves for the crap he served up.
It's kind of, I wouldn't say united fandom, but it's made us very, very excited for something we're desperate to have back, our show, and that's the thing.
I think
And
it did.
that represents our show in those 2 missing episodes. You know what I mean?
I think it did unite fandom on that day. We did the Friday it was announced, you know, and we did our live show that evening because I'd been watching the excitement of fandom, and I mean all of it in whichever version of Doctor Who these people that we all like it. We were united for that one day. We're not now. I think we will be again of the weekend of Easter weekend on the 4th when they put the episodes out. I think that people are going to come back together and the internet will be set alight with people going, oh my God, it's great. And oh my God, have you seen this? And oh my God. And that's brilliant. And we're going to be part of that, of course, here on Who's Views that night, Saturday night, live at 8. Come and join us with your thoughts of the episodes as we go through the Daleks master plan. But yeah, I mean, to see the media excited and to have lovely pieces like that on BBC Radio Norfolk with Mark Stuckey, it's all good because it's good promotion instead of the crap we've had to deal with over the last couple of years.
Yeah
100%. Reminds you what being a Doctor Who fan's all about, and I think this is the kind of thing that will bring a lot of the ones that were touching grass and had just gone. This will bring them back in because it's got nothing to do with the rubbish of the 21st century. It's original, it's proper. This is what Doctor Who was. You know, the show wasn't really 3 years old at this point. You know, it was still relatively, in TV terms, new. This is unbelievable.
And the prospect of getting more is mind-boggling. It really is, and I have enough trouble coping with these 2 episodes, let alone any more of them. For God's sake.
Yeah. For a bit more, mate.
Yeah. What Mark Stuckey says there is from the BBC's Repair Shop, and he's part of Film Was Fabulous. What Mark Stuckey is saying there, or what he's implying there, is it could be sooner rather than later. It's not going to be years off. We're looking at months off. This is the exciting news. We knew 2026 was going to be busy. Didn't realize it was going to be as happy when these episodes were coming back busy. Let's have a look and see what they're saying in the chat. Thank you, John Roberts, for your post there. Fingers crossed, says Woodhouse 122, for more on the way, although hopefully no midnight announcements. Well, I couldn't stand with that again, I tell you. Ping, ping, oh God, what's happening? No, I would rather BBC Studios, something sensible like an 11 a.m. one. That'd be lovely. Thank you very much. Look by then these days. Count 1970 lives, fingers crossed. And remember, this is just one collection. As these collectors unfortunately pass, more could be out there for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And as Problem Being was saying, we have to actually thank these people. We certainly do, because these are proper collectors. And they've looked after these things and they've kept them there. And as we know, the majority of these collectors don't know that something called Doctor Who is not complete in the BBC archives. And why should they? They are not Wheeze. Why should they know? You know? They would just assume, oh, that's a BBC show. You know? And they would assume, like we all did until 1981, that the BBC looked after its stuff. Ridiculous. Heretic, what are you saying to us? This is probably why Paul said these 2 are bonus episodes. So if these are bonus, I can't wait to find out what else is there.
Yeah.
Lex is saying Lost in Time Blu-ray Collection Part 1, 2, and so on. Probably on the way at some point, I can tell.
Well, we might get complete stories, who knows, or complete other stories. Who knows?
Wouldn't it be wonderful? We can but hope. Darren Reed, hopefully most of the leads will be UK-based rather than somewhere remote in a war-torn country. Oh, it would be lovely. It would be lovely because, it's difficult out there now, isn't it? If we can find them in Britain, wonderful. And let's just hope certain organisations don't muck up, or certain fans don't muck up any negotiations. Leave things alone. Don't go inquiring. Don't go poking your noses in. Don't go looking for clickbait. Don't go looking to be the first on anything. Shut up. Get over yourselves and let people do a professional job.
Just bide your time. Wait for the surprise.
Stay in your lane. This isn't your job.
Yes, it's not. You know, and it really annoys me when I see certain things come up on the tube of Who. Oh, this person says this, or we've heard this, or whatever. Leave people alone. Let them do it. These are difficult. You have to negotiate with people. There's money involved here. Come on, sometimes. Thanks, Robert Payne, who's saying we've only got 6 episodes of Flux. I wonder if they'll find more. That was funny though, Robert. So well done. What's Flux?
We could swap them. Yeah.
Flux.
Flux. I was looking through my dad's old films recently, says Funky. Unfortunately, there was no BBC canisters from the 60s there. That's a shame, isn't it? That's a shame. Maybe one day, says Stephen O'Neill, the Holy Grail of Lost Stories, the power of the Daleks will be discovered. You've said that before, Steve. You love Power of the Daleks, don't you? You do. You love it, you little tinker. He'd be wetting himself if that one turned up. Then again, we all would.
Yes.
That'd be great to see, wouldn't it? Travon's first one. To be honest,
following on from a complete Hartnell's last one would be fantastic, wouldn't it? I mean, it'd just be fun.
It's actually more master plan would be nice as well, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Totally.
Can you imagine what they would do, guys? The BBC studios. Can you imagine what they would do if they had the complete Dalek master plan, with or without Mission to the Unknown? If they had all the episodes, can you imagine the fuss they would make of getting that out as a commercial release?
Mm.
The more Peter Butterworth as well would be lovely.
God, yeah.
Do we dare to believe there are more to come, says Gagray. I can't stand the suspense. I hope it will last. It is. The suspense is on now. It's going to last. Do we dare believe? Yes, we dare believe. Where's that from? X-Files. We dare believe. The truth is out there, and it's on the way to us. So stay with us on Here's Whose Views, because again, we will celebrate all this together. Have to say. Stephen and Ginny Frith saying to us, if the last episodes of Evil of the Daleks and Abominable Snowmen showed up, fandom would explode with joy. I think we should be exploding with joy with anything they find, because it's all out there. And as I've said before many times over the last 5-6 years, to anybody who'd listen, the further away we get from the 60s, the more difficult it is.
But that's been proven slightly wrong, hasn't it? Because these turned out of nowhere, Never say never. That's the bizarre thing about this. And that's what's so fascinating as well. I've loved the idea of missing episodes like all of us have. And when we discovered we had hardly any of them. And these recoveries, 35 over, 40 odd years is incredible. It really is,
Yeah, exactly. This is why I've had a little bit of hope reignited now, because these 2 episodes have come back. There are others allegedly on the way. So I've had a little bit of hope reignited to be able to say, okay, they could be out there. People could have made copies of these things before the BBC threw them out. They could be in somebody's collection and they don't know what's going on. They don't know how valuable it is.
Well, we do know one episode that's definitely out there, don't we? And that is Web Planet 3. Web of Fear. Yeah, Web Planet.
We don't have a copy of Web Planet 3 in, for goodness sake, One's enough.
With or without Vaseline on the camera. Web of Fear, episode 3, is definitely out there. We know that. And hopefully all what's going on persuades whoever's got that to do the decent thing. Be great.
Yeah, because we do know it's out there. It was that close to coming home. Yeah, that close. I've already told the wife, says Graham, that no plans made for Easter Saturday, please, love. Well done. You got to get it booked in advance, haven't you, Graham? And Stevie and Jeannie Frith, imagine if Master Plan episodes 4 and 12 showed up. They contain Katerina, Brett, and Sarah Kingdom's deaths, and some of the best Hartnell acting ever. Will you get back to the ship? Get back! Yeah, we're going to get back.
Master Plan 4. Imagine that.
We are living in very strange times, aren't we? We've got this modern crap that we're not bothered about, and then we've got the original stuff that we are absolutely wetting ourselves about.
Yeah.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Scotsman in New York. My cousin over here is a casual fan. Saw an article about the recovered episodes in a New York newspaper. It was just incredible. But I do tend to be very cautious. In a New York newspaper, Doctor Who, amazing.
Wow.
I'm going to say it now just to jinx it. There'll always be 95 missing episodes. That always does the trick, doesn't it? Let's keep saying
You're not the first one to say that, Paul, are you?
I know that, yeah. I'm not.
Oh, dear. RTD will be livid, allegedly, says Julianne Goodwin. All this excitement for proper Who instead of his trash. He's got his own problems at the moment now, of course. And Paul Schlefter, hi, mate. It's great that William Hartnell, the first Doctor, is back right at the forefront of what was a series he made such a great success. It's quite emotional, really. It is, because it's 60 years.
And I feel really proud of him, don't you? That this has lasted so long. and he's getting the praise he deserves because he's the
Yeah.
original Doctor and always the original Doctor, you know.
Yeah.
And the fact his career has it's a great career, but he's well known for Doctor Who, and he's still remembered, which is wonderful. Really is.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. And of course, we'll always remember him, but to have fresh new material. And
Yeah.
it's like we were saying on our show that Friday, it was announced, this is new Doctor Who for us. William Hartnell is the Doctor. We haven't got a Doctor this year, and now suddenly we do. And his name's William Hartnell. How fantastic is that? Really brilliant. In the year that 60 years
Yeah.
of the anniversary of him leaving the show.
Yeah.
He's back and it's about time. Yeah.
As soon as they announced the recovered episodes to be released, says Woodhouse 122 on DVD, you can guarantee it'll be a #1 seller. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is. Let's just hope they don't put any AI anywhere near it. I'm sure Film is Fabulous is absolutely 100% behind all this and dictating to a sense what they can and can't do. But wouldn't that be awful if they messed around with it? Just the commercial releases, I believe, are being worked on. Just put them out. Just put the restored version out and your DVD and your Steelbook and your Blu-ray, whatever you want to do. We will buy it. We don't want any fancy nonsense. Just let it go.
Yeah.
Just release it. You will have bestsellers very, very quickly. What else are we going to say? Lots of you in the chat. Thank you for this. Stephen O'Neill is also saying to us, hopefully they'll find some Hancock's half-hour episodes and Quatermass episodes. It gives you hope for all sorts. They found Emergency Ward 10.
Yeah. How many did he say he found in that radio interview?
For Emergency Ward 10?
Yeah.
20.
Did he say?
Was it 20?
I don't know. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Take a note. It's quite a lot.
But that's phenomenal, isn't it? 20 episodes of one show.
One series, more or less the entire
know,
series of the year, maybe.
Incredible, you know.
Yeah.
Imagine finding 10 episodes of Doctor Who. God almighty. Yeah.
I'd actually like to see it because again, it's British television history, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'd like to see how they scripted it, how they produced it, how they filmed it, how they directed it, how they lit it. Because I haven't seen a hospital drama like Emergency Ward 10 before 1970 something. Maybe in 1980 with Angels. I don't know. You know,
it was made into a movie, wasn't it? As well, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, before I think before a TV show it was a movie, then it became a TV show. I think. I may be wrong on that. Someone might want to correct me. I've heard something similar. Yeah.
No, it's very exciting stuff though for us all as Doctor Who fans, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's not forget Film is Fabulous, says Stevie and Jeannie Frith. Find more stuff and plenty of lost stuff every week, practically. Yes, and we've got to also remember they are a charity. So if you can and you want to, give them a donation. You know, especially if they find a Doctor Who and they announce a Doctor Who, bung them a couple of quid if you can. Why not? What else we got here? Jason Parker saying to us, imagine a Dalek Master Plan DVD with all the existing episodes and moon-based quality animation for the missing episodes, and of course the prequel Edge of Destruction. Ooh. Yeah, brilliant. Apparently I've missed a super chat from Lex. I'm sorry, the super chats are not coming up at the moment.
Do you want me to call you them out, JT? Because we had one. We had one from Darren M. Hembrow, coach, earlier. £5 super chat. RTD's done very little for Swansea, and he references a decline in attending events. And then that was followed. If I just scroll down, that was followed by Lex. I did see Lex post, but there's, like you say, there's so much chat. We have had almost 300 people. In and I've seen like this.
Thank you to Mark for this one. Mark McIntosh, thank you for this. I think tele-recordings were made of every black and white episode, so there's definitely hope. Steve Bradley reminds us, Vanessa is saying that he knows of another episode that's hair-raising. He has, hasn't he?
Isn't there a theory as well that we're thinking about? I think it came out in the either maybe the John Franklin interview or the other gentleman who has the same name as yourself, JT, who mentioned about possibility of contacting employees who used to work for the processing companies who processed the film. And the same way that we're thinking about doing that with BBC employees and checking with them, editors, etc. So if there's other avenues of going down in terms of finding stuff, it opens up a huge a vein, as you mentioned, of possible finds. It's mind blowing. It really is.
It is difficult to get your head around, isn't it? It's just concepts, ideas, angles that we'd never thought about before. And you mentioned, since we found that out in that Doctor Who summer special 40 odd years ago, 45 years ago, wasn't it? There's been 35 episodes found. If you think about it, that's almost a whole year of 60s Doctor Who has been recovered, because there's about 42 episodes a year, 46, wasn't it? You're almost there. Lex's super chat, JT. £5 super chat. Thank you, Lex. As from today, Tom Baker, aka the Doctor, regenerated into Peter Davison, aka the Doctor. From today, it happened 45 years ago. Thank you, Lex.
It was actually yesterday, but I'll let
wasn't
that
it?
by.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
21st.
Triviality.
Yeah. A day here and there, but still a long bloody time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, we were still in mourning on this particular day all those years ago. Yeah, thank you for that, Lex. What else? Space Peninsula saying to us that my dream scenario is any episodes from The Highlander. The first appearance of Jamie would be beautiful to see. Yeah, we mentioned that, didn't we, on the on our show, and how lovely Fraser would love to see that, I'm sure. And as Peter Purvis said, because he's got a lovely sense of humor, he said it's great because it's royalties.
Yeah.
Because they don't get many of the 60s lot, because there's not that many for them to benefit from on DVD release. It's a shame, really. So as usual, I just wanted to show you, as well as what was going on with that Radio Norfolk thing, Film is Fabulous have been, throughout the week this week, being very naughty in the teasing of us fans as well, because they have been sharing on the Tube of Who, of course, on their Film is Fabulous website, little teeny weeny snippets of the episodes. And I was saying to Paul and Ian, I just get into it and then it goes off and I'm like, oh no, and I have to watch it again. So they are available on the Film's Fabulous Tube of Who, if you want. They've also released some actual lovely pictures of the process of clearing them up. Here we go here. So here's how they found the stills here on the left-hand side of the picture. And that's the cleaned, restored version on the right-hand side. I love these little snippets, guys, because, again, we're getting to see more of the episodes through these.
Well, some of these were actually 2 or 3 second clips as well, weren't they? Which were lovely.
They were.
And just the quality of that's amazing, isn't it? I mean, that's a lovely shot of Hartnell and Katarina together. That is really lovely. He's very affectionate towards her, which is really nice.
Yeah, because I mean, Katarina, she's always come across to me as a bit of a weak character, which is probably why they got rid of her. There's not really much you can do with her, with the wide-eyed wonder thing.
Yeah.
You know, so it's probably why she went within a couple of episodes, to be honest. We've got this one as well.
No, the one that you have there, the one with the Zeph on, I think it's a longer clip later on. With the cheeky monkeys made them a bit longer. I thought that's really even more teasing. It's awful.
It's really great building up the anticipation. Goodness knows what they're going to do this week. But doesn't the quality look? It looks like it was made yesterday, doesn't it? Absolutely great job. Beautiful.
I mean, I don't know if they've used any AI in tidying these up, because
I don't think so.
It would. I mean, I don't mean AI in embellishing the images, just the whole process of tidying them up. Each frame, when you consider there's 20 odd frames per second, and you're talking 24.5-minute episodes, that's a lot of frames. And at one point, you'd have had to do these manually. Whereas if they're using an AI to speed up the process, then I'm in favor of that, as long as it is true to the source material and doesn't change anything, to speed up the process so you can get them cleaned up and done to a better standard. Then, absolutely, I'm all up for that.
Yeah.
The composition of Douglas Camfield's Daleks there looks wonderful. That black Dalek looks wonderful.
Absolutely. He knew what he was doing, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Claudius is in the chat with us as well. Nice to see you. Great emails in the week, so it's lovely to see you. Hope you are well. And I gave you a shout out at the top of the show, like I said I would. The black and white doesn't bother me, as the Daleks look better, more polished than later stories. The darker elements of this story suits the black and white. Yeah.
It's also because the newer props as well.
Yes, they were back then, I suppose. Yeah. Legion of James saying to us, just as RTD obliterated Doctor Who, William Hartnell returns to show the world exactly what Doctor Who is and why we, the proper fans, love it, and that the real fans of the proper show are still here. Ooh. How lovely is that? I've gone all sorts of ooh about that. Thank you. Paul, says Steve Braddock, the BBC are checking into all the film processing labs jointly with Film is Fabulous.
Excellent. Yeah.
That's so exciting, isn't it? PB is saying to us that the Daleks were at their best in the 60s. Yeah, They were really, and we do know that, of course, Terry started churning out the same stories in the 70s. Come on, let's face it. He was busy trying to do other stuff, wasn't he? But we also have to remember that Mission to the Unknown and Dalek's Master Plan was sort of a pilot, wasn't it, for trying to get them their own series in America.
Yeah.
Mission to the Unknown, having revisited it a couple of times now, ready for our review, you can see that. There's no doctor in it, which I know there are other reasons for that, but it works. It actually works. It's brilliant.
Wasn't this episode to make up the episodes that they lost, one episode from season 2 when they lost part 4 of Planet of the Giants?
Rings a bell.
And this was an adjustment of some description in terms of things. Yeah.
Rings a bell. And the actors were all committed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It rings a bell. John Steed Hartnell is looking down on his unhappy and badly treated fans and brought 2 lost episodes to make us all happy. Oh, John, you big softy. That's lovely.
Thank you, Mr. Hartnell. Thank you so much. Yeah.
It's a nice way of looking at it.
Jess, you're right. Jess Corbin said, we are all family here. Yes, we are. So, yeah, and it's lovely, isn't it? And Mystery Man La, you all right? Good to see you. Welcome to Who's Views. Fury and Abominable will make me very, very happy. Can you imagine that? I mean, all these things they found. Fury from the Deep as well. I mean, the mythos that arises over the years, over all these missing episodes, and living on the Target book to this very day.
Yeah.
Living on the audios. Crikey.
A Yeti double-header steel box. That'd be wonderful.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, listen, we've had it there. We've had it there from the BBC Radio Norfolk interview with Mark Stuckey. It's a good year for Doctor Who fans, everybody. Isn't it exciting? It's been a cracker so far, isn't it, with this news? And it's all to come, Paul.
I was going to say, all you need to do now is just cancel the Christmas special. I'll be really happy.
Yes. Philip Roy in the chat saying to us, you'll be able to see if the missing episodes have been AI'd because the Daleks will have 6 fingers.
And 2 plungers, yeah.
That's very true. That's very true. There's a lot of excitement. Of course there is for these missing episodes. With Dalek Schlonsing, Adrienne Hill had such a beautiful, enigmatic face. Oh, it's nice to be able to get to see it. Isn't it really?
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. And Mystery Man last saying there could be oodles of stuff that is really exciting. Shows like Out of This World and Out of the Unknown, Theatre 625, the Wednesday play, as well as our most treasured Doctor Who episodes. Oh my goodness, can you imagine? If they got so much back, that's BBC 4 made for ages, isn't it?
Yeah.
As it repeats everything, you know.
Not just one collection.
Yeah. Out of and
God bless in the original batch.
Yeah.
Crazy.
God bless him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever he is, we are very grateful.
We are. We really, and thank you for looking after them. Honest to God. And here we are, Claudius. Imagine getting more new classic Who episodes this year than actual new Who.
We should find out where we shouldn't. We should stay the hell out of it because we don't know what we're doing. But if they're doing the search, they should try and search those areas where there was landfill. You never know.
Yeah, exactly. You just don't know. But we live in hope here, don't we, gentlemen? I mean, we've had that there. It looks like things are happening. Stay with us here on Who's Views because we will celebrate the moment we hear about these things coming. I think it's going to be sooner rather than later. Lex, thank you for your super chat. 50 years ago today was filming begins a production of Star Wars, March the 22nd, 1976. Well, thank you for just making me feel really old, Lex. I mean, that's ridiculous. 50 years? It can't be. I was only watching it the other night. It's outrageous, isn't it? My head's spinning. Absolutely. Oh, my goodness. We're all excited. We are so looking forward to it. And I'm going to give it a plug again. Get it in your diaries because on Saturday, the 4th of April, and on the Thursday before that, just a couple of days before, we're going to be looking at Mission to the Unknown. But live on Saturday, the 4th of April, here on the channel, we will be reviewing the Daleks Master Plan. Come and celebrate with us, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to have fun. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Please make sure you are still subscribed to the channel. Give us a thumbs up and give us a hype. Ooh, there it goes. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. That's wonderful. From Third Doctor Ian and from Paul and myself, as usual, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us this evening. We've had a great time. And we will be seeing you again very shortly, I am sure, with more news as the countdown continues on our Facebook page to the Daleks Master Plan. As soon as we hear as well, for those of you outside the UK, as to what is happening when they're going to get this out of the UK, we will be here on Headlines to tell you all about it. At the moment, nothing's happening, but stay with us. Stay with us, because we will try and find out for you when they pick up the bloody phone and answer the email. Right. So from Paul, Ian and myself, thanks for joining us. It's great to see you. Have a great week. We will see you, I'm sure, very soon. Ta-ra, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Oh.